good evening, good evening, good afternoon, wherever, whenever, however you all are. Welcome to Clobby's Comic Shop. Great to see you here. It is the final episode of 2025. And man, it is wild that we got here. We freaking got here. So let's acknowledge the faces in our chat. Lord Thought Vince Womack. How's it going? Jonathan Conroy. D. Bud Martin. Of course, on the Rumble side is Vince Womack as well. So I'm going to pop that Rumble link in our chat. So if you're one of those dudes who likes to have it both ways, well, you can do that by being on YouTube and Rumble. This is one of the few spots on the internet where we can get away with having it both ways. So let's get this going. Yeah, rumbling. Did it not show? The hell? I swear I put. There we go. There we go. So now, if you want to have it one way, you do that. You can do that. And yes, my children put that big giant plushie in back when they said it needs to be on stream. I said, fine, we'll do that. We'll do it. I will allow this. Because they know I watch the cartoon with them and they say it needs to be on stream. Nick White does like to swing both. Oh, that's funny. Man, 2025, the final episode. And yes, I am by myself right now. If the guys pop in, great. If not, well, guys, I will entertain you by myself because we could talk about the year in 2025 in comics. We could talk about the stuff that I enjoyed, the stuff maybe you guys enjoyed, and we can also talk about we'll have a rare moment to talk about where companies like Marvel will continue to go wrong because, well, I talked to that 70s rock fan recently. He had a show where he's talking about how we did a rare stream about things that went wrong. It wasn't comics, but I think it was about movies. And he's like, yeah, it felt good to do it. Just that one. I'm like, you know what? Maybe that could be an extension of here. But, should the boys get in here, we'll talk classic ASM and F4. Waiting on them. If you're out there, I actually started on time. I think it was 1 minute late. But regardless, we're going to have fun talking about the stuff that I really enjoyed. That I'll say, hey, it wasn't just that I enjoyed it. It was freaking good because I stand by that and I will continue to stand by that. So, guys, please tell me about how your Christmas was. Mine was good. Obviously, I came back the weekend before, straight from the Dell, straight to this without really much of a break. That was intense. Man, and then Christmas happened, and my oldest, she baked cookies. Actually, it was gingerbread pastry. It was really good. It was really damn good. It was so good. Oh, there's D Buds. Brian shows about Christmas songs we hated. It was fun. There you go. See, thank you for the clarification on that. But Christmas was fun. My oldest, she absolutely crushed it with the gingerbread pastry. It was awesome, and I ate a lot of it. The Christmas party was good. Kids were very happy with their gifts. I was happy with. I was like, whatever we do, like I need as little as possible. And for once, my wish is granted. I got Rockstar Energy drink. And yeah, they said that big giant bluey plushie was gonna be counted as a gift towards me because they said they need it as part of my stream. That way they know I'm a dad. So I'm like, all right, fine. We can do that. I think I have one more thing. But yeah. Everything else is about the kids. I told other people don't get me anything. Just get stuff for the kids. Kids were really happy this year. Really happy. So I was really happy with that. They were happy with that. Yeah, it was awesome. I had a blast. Family party is good. It was very, very, very absolutely on PC. We made deportation jokes up the ass. In case you're wondering, yes, this was the Puerto Rican family, not the Polish family. We I should get away more with deportation jokes at the Puerto Rican family parties, ironically, more than I could at the Polish parties. But the Puerto Rican family, we make jokes up the ass. I think I told you guys for when we did Thanksgiving, we called it the Jim Crow meal. We called it the Jim Crow meal. So we just won up that this year with deportation jokes. It was delightful, absolutely delightful. And the Trans-Siberian Orchestra was playing over the TV. I think Dan Vass actually had a few songs playing over the TV, Dream Theater. It was all really killer stuff. Absolutely killer versions of a lot of these Christmas classics. It was killer. There's even a really badass lights show that they do at this one house where you change it to an FM station. and all the music that plays goes to the beats of the songs. It's absolutely really cool. Maybe next year I'll go and I'll record a video. The thing is, every phone I get is always super duper cheap on purpose, so it's hard to get good video. But maybe at least you guys will get enough of an idea to see how cool it really is. So it won't be the greatest quality footage because I have no intentions of getting a great phone, but hopefully you'll get the idea because seriously, it's really killer. So, for all the flack and shit I give Illinois, there's a few hidden gems around the area. And I got to give credit where it's due. Like that, like the filming of Groundhog Day, like having Chester Gold, the creator of Dick Tracy, be in our area, from our area, subhumidity full of suck metal covers. Maybe we will, man. Maybe we'll get into as the show goes on. Maybe we can definitely rate some covers. I think that'd be fun because the longer the dudes drag ass, the more I'm just going to want to hijack the show and just really run with it. And that's fine with me, man. I'm having too much fun. And well, for me, I'm not really worried about going solo because I have fun with it. That's the thing. So you know what? We're going to start off with something that I did enjoy. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get off on stuff that we did enjoy. So let me get my screen up. I saw Tim Hayes. I see Subhuman 84. Of course, I mentioned the mail covers. Hey, Tim, don't worry about me. We're doing a member stream tomorrow, which, by the way, member stream tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central, which would be 2 o'clock on Tim Hayes' time. So member stream tomorrow. And then Tuesday night, since there's no Toxic Tuesday, doing a skip week, we'll be back on January 6th for Ice Pirates with Dave C. as a guest, which I can't wait on. We're going to be doing a fast food tier list stream Tuesday night. That'll be at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Central, Tuesday night. If you know someone who's a fast food aficionado, they're welcome to come on as a panelist, maybe challenge my arguments. I got only one guy, another. I think I'd probably let up to 5 or 7. I want to keep it odd number, 5 or 7. I only got 2 of us in. So if I could get, 3 to 5 more, we'll have a blast. We'll have a gay old time. All right. Let's look at the Atlantean. So obviously, a lot of you guys know. Oh, Steve Mitchum. Hey, Nick, playing air hockey. Maddie, but lurking. Hey, I appreciate the lurk, sir. Thank you, and I appreciate it. So obviously, some of you guys may remember Mr. Russ here. We had him on to promote the Shadow Kingdom, which is him and Randy Zimmerman's their take on the Shadow Kingdom. We had a blast with him talking about that. The Atlantean #1. Number 3 came out. I haven't read it yet, but number 2, oh, dude, this was so freaking killer. It's crazy to see that we get a Cole story based off of King Cole of Volusia in 2025, and it's killer, and it's in the magazine format, in the black and white pages, all big books too. Came with a badass print. Let's see. Oh, yeah. And believe me, this art looks so much better. It looks great on here, but it looks even better when you're, holding in your hand. Hopefully, they'll be better than the Gigs and Gamers Fast Food Chips. That's funny you mentioned. That was kind of a loose inspiration. Now, some of the things I agreed with, but there's also ones I strongly disagree with. Like, I think they gave Little Caesars Pizza a high rating, and I'm going to combat that like crazy. Trust me on that. But I did like that there was acknowledgement of how good Checkers is. Checkers is great, very very overlooked, should I say. But the Atlantean guys was so much fun, and I would highly recommend you get these issues. They've been coming out on a bit of a quarter release schedule. Randy and Russ have been killing it. I know issue 2, this is issue 2, 3 came out, which I still need to read. Number 4 should be up for campaign in the spring. These are fun. They kind of fly too because you're having so much fun. Oh, man. And yes, you do get Charles Santino on this issue, and he really did add to this issue. You could definitely tell the difference. He really elevates the story here. And of course, you got, what's it called here? Lizard people. Tons of lizard people. And of course, it's barbaric, it's brutal, it's bloody, it's toxic. I mean, it's like all the traits of a great Nick Weiser comic. I mean, look at that. Come on. Look at that shit. It looks delightful. It looks really damn delightful. I had so much fun with it. And I was just like, dude, this is so cool. And I'm glad I reread it again, read it, reread it. It's just, guys, you got to read The Atlantean. I know some of you have backed these things before, And well, I'm gonna be the Bernie Sanders meme, and I need you to back this thing right now. I mean, wait for issue 4 to come out. Do the backup. You can do the catch-up pack. Vince got the Russ Leach link. Thank you, Vince. I appreciate that. Hell yeah, bitch. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to get the next link out. We're going to talk about Dracula, which is book 2, The Bride. So it looks like the campaign is out for 3, but we're going to see if we can go to Orlock Press and get the book 2 thing up. Got it. I'm going to get it up, guys. This one was written by Matt Wagner and drawn by Kelly Jones. Now, there are cheaper versions of this that do come out to retailers, and you can get 1 and 2 out in the retailer format. Okay, here you go. This is book 2. This is a full, wow, I was going to say, this is a full-on long read. Now, granted, I'm not a fast reader, but reading this at I guess you could say a steady pace, this took me 2 hours to read in its entirety. It was awesome. It was tragic. It was moving. And you see all the brides and how Dracula basically just uses everyone around him. Matt Wagner, he's known for his creator work in the Grendel. He's done some really cool stuff on the Shadow as well. And a lot of people, when they think of Kelly Jones, they think about how he was like one of the successors to Neil Adams of Batman, being a very different style. And that's great and all, but for me, my Kelly Jones is more Dead Man and stuff like this. He definitely reminds me of, God, what was that artist who did the obituary cover? Bernie Wrightson. He definitely likes his Bernie Wrightson. That's for sure. This to me is Kelly Jones. This is Kelly Jones Unleashed. I'm still to this day not really wild about his Batman, but I love what he does with Dracula. And if you look at how the page has like an old pagey feel look to it, it feels like, even though you're reading on a thick, really nice, perfect bound hardcover book where it's all prestige, I will say like the pages have that old paper look, even though you can tell the pages are new when you see it in your hands. But I love how they got the color of the old pages. I freaking love that about so much. Kelly Jones is doing some really killer stuff. Really killer stuff. And I'm not going to shut up about it because, well, shocker! Shocker! Seriously, you can't escape it. And I won't let you escape it. It's just one of those I'll chase you to the ends of the earth thing. I'm telling you, you got to read Dracula, guys. It's such a damn blast. Thank you, Vince. I see you putting the Dracula link as well. Seriously, guys. Book 3 just finished its campaign, so that means I know he's doing the catch-up pack as
well. Get back here, Shocker! Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
Yeah. Dudes. I'm just saying, you got to have Dracula in your collection. It's worth it. And if you want to go seek out the cheaper paperback versions, you could do it. All I'm just saying is, guys, give it a look because it was so damn killer. I had a blast. I had a gay old time. And it was just one of those things, like every fiber of my being was in this book. My blood, my sweat, my tears. Not literally, of course, but it's just fun and funny to say that. Kind of like when Mo said on The Simpsons, I put my blood, sweat, and tears in this book. And everyone's spitting out the figure of speech. And everyone's, oh, go. Yeah, that's me here. I'm having fun with the figure of speech because why the hell not? Why in the living hell not? So yeah, Dracula, back the shit out of it, okay? Or buy the shit out of it. Whatever. I don't care what it's called. Anyways, let's get to my next book here. Here we go. Norfolka, Glorious Death #1. Fuck yeah. If you feel like you have a void missing after Thor and all the debauchery that's been done, this book fills that void a lot. And the story is fast, and there's some brutal action, and there's their own version of the 10 Realms, which is killer. A lot of world building, character building. I had so much fun with it. Ronaldson Freer, too, is a killer artist. And it turns out, apparently, I hear he's into a lot of the real metal that I'm into as well. So that's always a nice sell. Very nice sell. But I like how even with the amount of characters introduced in this story, I didn't feel like, wow, this thing is bloated and needs to go on a diet. I had so much fun with this. So I will say Eric July absolutely killed this book. And Ronaldson Freer is a perfect complement. And kind of like the Asgardian stories that we would see, whether it was a Lee Kirby run or what little I've seen the Simonson on, it's a very colorful world. This is nothing bound in darkness. This doesn't look like you're watching a Zack Snyder movie or let alone a Nolan movie. As much as I like some of those, it is a very colorful world with killer characters. And there's cool covers for you guys if you're into that. I just care about owning a comic. I don't care about, but I know there's a lot of toxic dudes in chat. So if you're a toxic man and you care about these type of covers, there's your incentive. I'm just saying there's your incentive. But for me, I'm all about the baddest characters and the dudes being dudes. Because I'm on a show by dudes for dudes, made by dudes. I gotta make my boys Brandon Lee, Dolph Lundgren proud, which I'm hoping in 2026 I can mean the Lundgren.
It's like winning. I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed, I have one gear. Go
To that website, as Vince posted, ripaverse.com. Give Norfolk Hug Glorious Death #1 a look. And listen to the song he did with Dan Vask. It was, well, I was going to say, no pun intended, it was a ripper. It really was. So let's get it up again. Yeah, winning. Yes, Andy. How you doing? So another one. Mark Miller and John Romita Jr.'s Psychic Sam. Obviously, I was shocked how great this was. I know I've always been critical of, let's just say, later era John Romita Jr., especially with Marvel and DC. But man, for some reason, I think there's just a different energy when he does the indies. I don't know what it is, but I just really resonate with this stuff. And it really is Death Wish meets Minority Report. His character's got a little bit of that Frank Castle look. I love the straightforwardness of the story, even though it has a complex concept to it. They could have easily gone really all over the place with it. It doesn't. Not one damn bit. Obviously, we had Mark on, God, a month and a half ago. Great time. But, dude, it's super brutal, too, which is definitely something that Mark he kind of stopped doing for a bit with his stories getting, like, not as crazy and mayhemic. Well, he's back to formula here, and I love it for that. I can't wait till issues 2 and 3 come out of this, and I can't wait for Conquered to come out because Conquered looks great. That's got that whole Game of Thrones Independence Day thing as he described it. But yeah, what you see, the knife coming out of that guy's neck, dude. Yeah, this is pure vigilantism in a day and age where there's a bunch of, let's just say, backward ass laws, not just in my country, but in a lot of the countries. We've been saying, we're so much closer to getting the real life Paul Kersey, the real life Dirty Harry. Psychic Sam is another one of those guys where it just feels like he's another one of those characters who could be that other great vigilante. So if you're a Punisher fan, a Horseman fan, Dirty Harry fan, Paul Kersey, a Death Wish fan, I'm just going to stress the freaking moon and back why you should be reading Psychic Sam. I'm just saying, Psychic Sam is the way of all life. There's that music video. Yeah, I got the vinyl too. The vinyl's killer. And there's like a different version where it's got like the wraparound art. So if you're like a vinyl sucker like me or an art sucker or both, I'm just saying. So please, you want to have every fiber of your being in Psychic Sam. I mean, I'll say I got that whole thing here. There's Vince posting about that. Psychic Sam. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, he's got the Psychic Sam. Yeah. Let's see. Bring the sucker down. Bring the sucker down. Yeah, and it's reached fairly quick. It's got like 40, 50 pages, something like that. But it's easy to read, like, half hour. But you just go back and read it again. Also, I didn't do this for Psychic Sam. I just got the book for this one. But the way he's got these tier packages with the big magazines and the collectible cards, dude, come on, man. Come on. I'll say you gotta be checking that out because Foghorn Leghorn says that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Okay. And you know what? We're going to get to some more obvious territory because why not get a little more obvious? Which, by the way, I see about 10 of you in here. Thank you for being in here right away in this chat. You dudes are superbly excellent. We're gonna get out a big milestone one because, well, it's not really a milestone for today's standards, but it deserves to be acknowledged as a milestone. Titan Comics, Conan the Barbarian, Snow is white, water is wet. As my oldest daughter likes to say, I'm gonna steal her line: grass is green. So obvious, but yet we don't use enough. Conan the Barbarian is 27 issues. Now, this one issue here, number 25, which is a fully painted issue by Alex Hordley, outstanding, by the way. 2 years later, and this is still kicking ass. Do I miss Roberto De La Torre in this style? Yeah. But have we gotten great artists since? Also, yes. Is the De La Torre still doing some Savage Sword? Thankfully, he's also still doing some covers for the core book. Also awesome. But dude, has this book held up, man? Ooh, there's 2 issues that are kind of so-so. I think it was issues 17 and 18. They actually, the more I think about it, no, they weren't even so-so. They were a decent story idea with not good art. Oh, we'll just say it, not good art. But then 19 and 20 was like, whoa, well, hey, ho, 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 hey, boo boo. Hey, Mr. Ranger, I got this really good story here. It looks a lot better with good art. But Yogi, you said 17 and 18 were good. Well, don't tell Mr. Ranger that Christian Delorme is here. Hey, he's going to go for that picnic basket. Seriously, I like this issue. It's painted, and it's a story of King Conan in the future. And then the current story, which is 2 issues in, number 26. Let me go to it. Sorry, I went the other way around. Number 26, and then number 27 these are 2 issues that are out currently of a 3-parter arc where he is doing mercenary work. He's kind of doing work for some guys, and it's really cool to see him doing the work of some business work. And of course, he gets some things that he kind of sees along the way. He's like, "Ooh, this needs my attention," and well, he gets a business. And of course, you got your brutality. And this time you definitely see him deal with the social natures of how societies are run. And it kind of gets him thinking about, man, wouldn't it be great if I did this? So 2 out of 3 issues of this, I'm pretty damn sure it's going to have a strong conclusion. Fernando Dagnino, however his name's pronounced, his art's killer. What's up, Penny? And hello, Melted Copper. How are you? Nice to see you. Sure, Clobby passed like bird of prey. Oh yeah, that was a while ago, man. Yeah, it's been almost a year and a half. But yes, after Christmas, hey, Clobby's miss. We'll always miss him, but that's why we do shows like this because of him. And Christian Delorme has been a member for 28 months, and he says, "Flop." I'm just saying, flop. Like that Wiener's Floppy Wiener song that they did in South Park with Wiener, Wiener, Wiener. Oh man, I got one day. I know some of you guys, I think I said it at either Midnight's Edge or if I said it on Comics Division TNT about one of the times I almost got in trouble at we'll just say my place of employment for singing that song. Because yes, I actually got caught performing the Wiener Floppy Wiener song at work. So you want to know you're getting the real what's Nick like outside the world? Well, what you see on camera is Nick outside. You can verify with 70s. He had to unintentionally hear me once. Let's just say when I tried to turn off my mic and my mic wouldn't turn off on me, and 70s had to, let's just say, listen to me before stream. And he's like, wow, that's just all you. It's just all natural you. So 70s can confirm I'm all natural. I'm all natural. I'm not unnatural, all natural. So let's get it up a little more, because why not get up even harder? Yeah, someone framed me. I was banished from the community, maybe for the best. Dude, well, I didn't know you were framed. I'm sorry that you were. Hey, it happens. I'm aware of things that go on, let's just say within this corner of YouTube. I tend to stay out of about 95% of it because, well, there's always going to be feuds no matter where you go. I just don't let it bug to me. Every now and then I'll have a little spat, but that's the 5 to 10% at most. For me, I just stay. I mostly stay in my own lane. I think I'd say I've done about 80-85% good job of doing it. Mostly. Flash. Ah. Yes. Flash Gordon by Jeremy Adams, who's like the guy at DC. Just saying, it's killer. Number 14 comes out on the final day of the year. Flash Gordon is so fucking awesome. Will Conrad did the first 5 issues and he did some issues after that. But Jeremy Adams is, my goodness, total badass space opera story. Flash is fun. Flash is a badass. Flash is a leader. Tons of actions. There's some great stuff with Ming too. If you're worried it's gonna be a story that comes on time where it'll be every character outside of Flash Gordon, where he's a supporting character his own story. Oh no, this is a Flash Gordon story. How's we call it movie? Flash Gordon story through and through. It's like, what's up, Gonzo? Read by nature. Hello, hello. He says, Merry Christmas. It was there. Brad Young. What's up? He said, you heard him. He's ultra natural, which translates to Sasquatch. You did hear me. Hey, I gotta be honest. Okay. That's what I do around here. It looks like I don't see any complaints from anyone about Rumble not working. 5-year feud, free friendship with anybody. Yeah, as far as like my actual friends, I've never had problems with friends. Like, yeah, me and Culture Casino, we give each other shit a lot on stream. That's fine. That's just guys being guys, rolling the wretched. We'll call each other gay and retarded, and we're gonna bicker on Twitter. But that's just all just us being guys talking shit. There's never been like an actual feud. That's the thing. And I think that shows you when we can have those conversations, there's a bit of a genuine, real friendship there, not something superficial. It is as real of a real thing as it gets. So I'm glad Rumble's working for your event. But guys, Flash Gordon is fun. Dave C, I sent him out a copy of Volume 1, which had the first 5 issues. I don't know if he's read it. Dave, if you're out there, let me know if you read it, because I want to know your genuine thoughts. He's a big Flash Gordon fan. We did this movie a while ago, the movie for Toxic Tuesday, and we had a blast on this one. It was so much fun. Oh, dude, Sam Jones, he's Flash Gordon. Yes, you definitely you feel excited and you just want to yell into the air, Flash, every time you read these issues. It's one of those. What's up, Stephen M. Kellel? Not sure how I feel about Avengers Daddy Daycare. I mean, Cap's got a kid, Thor's a kid. Do people want that? Well, I don't think it's going to be a movie about him being a dad. I'm sure like it'll be mentioned like in passing. I have a feeling though, I have 2 ideas on this one, and they could both be wrong. I have a thing it's going to go either this way. This movie is going to be used to lure people back to see, let's just say Chris Evans back as Captain America. He'll probably do some action. It might even be good. It might even be, I'll admit it. But then, Sam, I didn't really need to do this fight. You're Captain America. I could see that happening. Because there's all the rumors about them resetting everything once it's done. I can see them just not letting it go. Some people think it'll be a genuine thing where they bring Captain America back. I'm definitely not so sure on that. And if I'm wrong, great. But I'm not into that whole thing where it's gonna be him going for it. It should be in an ideal world, sure, but we're not much of a logical world. We're maybe about 5 to 10% more logical this year than we were last year, sure. But we still got miles to go. TZ Burns says, Nick, you're so tight. Yeah, I am, but it's fine. It's cool. I can hold the fort down. You guys are here. There's 12 of you here. Thank you, by the way. You're still listening. You're surviving this show. And I haven't even had a drink yet. And I have it right here. What the hell's wrong with me, guys? I feel like I owe you an apology. I'm not really like the apologetic nature type, but I'm gonna do that now. Have heard nothing that makes me want. Yeah, right, dude. There's nothing that intrigues me to watch it. There's not. I can enjoy Flash Gordon, and this is fun. I feel good when I read Flash Gordon. Thought the show starting at 7:30. No, we're back to our normal time, man. I was having crazy reboot issues, 3-4 weeks ago, and then the week after that, 2 weeks after that was me coming back from the Dells, so we started late. We're back to our normal time. We're back to 6. But good to see you, Deeple. And yes, cheers to you guys. Is the Hydra Cap still technically the real cap? I haven't read current Marvel in a few years, but last I checked, keywords, last I checked, I'm pretty sure he's still technically the real Cap, and they have some figmented reality one that's out there being the real Cap quotation marks. But guys, cheers you. All right, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, because we're gonna do this again next year. Cheers. I think Falcon back as Falco, the pet Falco, would be great. People actually like a pet bird of prey somehow isn't epic. No one gets dressed as an under guy. Dude, right? I would actually like a Falcon in a Falcon suit. I actually would. For me, I don't know why we haven't had that yet, but oh well, we're not having that. Well, that's their loss. It really is their loss. It ain't our loss because we never got it. Hey guys, I held the fort down for a 32 minutes very successfully, but we finally have got another guy, and he goes by Iron Caster.
Hello, sir.
Welcome back.
A long time no see, man. I have had a couple of crazy weeks here, and I'm just kind of glad to finally settle in and relax and just kind of talk about some comics.
Good. You've been missed. I know you had your vacation. How's your vacation, by the way?
I mean, the vacation's still going on for a couple more days, but
Oh, cool. You're dropping in.
But last week I had to go out of town to help a friend out, and it just turned into a crazy mess. But I feel like it has been far too long, so I just got to sit down and talk about, or much less really read much in the way of comic books. I need to go hit my shop up this week, so I am woefully behind on my pull list.
Hey man, shit happens, dudes. I get it. It happens, life catches up and you're like, "Oh no, my reading." Actually, like I played a lot catch up this week and I got caught up. I went back to one book I went to from last year's Nexus Scourge from Mike Barron and Kelsey Shannon, which is freaking great. And now, like I did my reread of it, I realized, wow, Mike really likes Galactus and Silver Surfer. I gotta ask him about that. Maybe I'll try to get him back on for our stream so we can talk about Nexus. I know he's got his other story on the Bronze Star sequel coming out, so who knows? But I'm caught up on Energon. I read this week's Void Rivals, which was kick ass, so fucking kick ass. Oh, I see Deeple say he's caught up on Energon Universe. Yeah, dude, Energon's killer, man. It's so cool to say that Energon Universe has been awesome. But Caster, so before you got here, I was going over some books I enjoy, whether it was in the non-monthly sphere or the monthly sphere. Non-monthly sphere, I brought up the Atlantean. I brought up Dracula. I brought up Norfolka. I brought up Psychic Sam. So those are books I really enjoyed from the non-monthly sphere. Now, in the monthly sphere, I brought up Conan. I brought up Flash Gordon. As you see naturally on the screen, it's freaking great. We all know we would say the Energon Universe. I mean, we're practically beating a dead horse at this point, but we're enjoying them. I'm enjoying all of them. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Void Rivals. I'm enjoying the hell out of all of them, which is really odd because now that the current artist on Void Rivals as of this week is the guy who did the Destro stuff. And I thought his stuff was average in Destro, but in this issue, I love it. I'm like, did I start to come around to this guy, or is this stuff just better? I don't know yet. I gotta go back to Destro and see my thoughts. But I'm really enjoying Void Rivals this week, and the story has gotten super epic. It's nice to feel like with these 3 comics, there's a universe, of comics in the monthlies that matters.
Oh, and it's great. We are at a point where we are getting a lot of solid books that don't just fall under the Marvel DC banners solely. And
I know.
And here I am kind of going down the list looking over it all. There is so much variety of stuff here I'm seeing. I'm seeing Youngblood is still out. The Phantom is got a couple of books that have been coming out. So kind of going back looking over the past weeks, we've got more Batman Robin. I'm surprised I Hate Fairyland is still going on.
That's still, I haven't read it. I read the original run of it, which 120 issues. I thought that was great. I do actually like Scotty Young. I actually like him better as a writer. He did some great series. One they did a few years back called Middle West, which went 18 issues. I loved. Then there's another one he did called The Me You Love in the Dark, which is like his closest thing to a horror story he did with Jorge Corona. I thought that was really great too. And I'm actually going to give his Lobo a shot in March when that comes out. I'm going to give that a shot since he has Jorge Corona on it too. I actually have a feeling that might actually be great. I'm actually like very confident on that. Unlike the Supergirl movie, I'm confident in the Lobo comic. But we got Pablo here too. So the cavalry all arrives, half hour into the show. Welcome, Pablo.
Howdy ho! Sorry, I had to take a bath after watching Stranger Things season 5 part 2.
Oh!
Let me tell you this. Do you remember at the beginning of the series that there's these bullies that are messing with Will, telling him that he is a queer boy? Well, they were not bullies. They were really empathic and understanding people now because they nailed the thing exactly, right? Because now, yeah, he came out. That's the finale. In,
Well, there's one more episode, but
yeah,
still,
the
it's still really
31.
dumb that there. I had gotten some. Let's just say when I watched season 4, which I really enjoyed, and I thought it was really strong and the
Yeah, it's great.
strongest one since the first season, maybe even better. I've rewatched it, and I do believe it holds up, thankfully. But then you watch the 5th season. I watched the first 4 episodes. I thought they're pretty good, and I'm like, oh hey, they're finally doing something with Will. And I kind of heard the rumors that people think he's this. I'm like, well, if he is, whatever. The show's not really made it a thing. Well, they wait to the second to last episode to make it a thing. It seems like they made it a major thing. It didn't need to go that route, especially when you got this apocalyptic tale. Granted, I haven't watched the episodes, the next 3 batch, but I don't even care not to watch them. When I get it, people would just spoil the rest of it because I feel it's like, oh, hey, you played the long game to the very near end, and you had to make it part of an apocalyptic situation. Really, guys? It couldn't just be he happened to be this and the story goes on.
And the explanation why he comes out is just Vecna showed me that you will be homophobes towards me, so I got scared. So I won't help you in the final battle, and everybody is like, you know what? I still like you, even knowing that you are gay.
Yeah, he was a good character, and they
yeah.
were even as much as I like season 4. My one complaint was, can you please do something with Will? There's more to him than just the kid who was stranded in season 1, but instead they decide this is the best we can do with him. And I thought they were actually onto something good when they made him powered. I thought they were actually onto something really good with him. For
It's a
shame.
disappointment, man.
For shame, because I don't mind the character. I still don't mind the character now. I don't, but stuff like that doesn't make me want to watch it.
Yep, it takes away from them.
Sadly, it's a show that just never appealed to me because it's just more 80s nostalgia. When I feel like we've been so engrossed with that it just gets to be a little too much.
No,
and
I
also
can understand that.
And also from the perspective of someone who's into D&D and that, like, there's things they do wrong where it's like, well, mind flayers aren't actually what the show depicted them as, and Vecna, the big villain, is different than what they showed. Yeah. And so it's like, if I try to talk about Vecna, it's like, well, which one are we talking about now? It just adds this extra element of frustration for me.
I understand that. And as a normie, I know those are things I'll never understand. I'm sure like it's the same argument they can make about F1. If you probably know how F1 actually works, you'll probably not enjoy the movie the way a normie does. I don't know jack shit about racing, but I love the hell out of F1 as a movie. I'm sure like normies won't translate it. But anyways,
find some enjoyment about you guys talking how that is so much 80s. And for me, a lot of that is 90s because Latin America used to have 10 years to 5 years lag in some things. Movies will get 5 years later, things like that. So for me, a lot of this stuff is, yeah, it was like that in my
Okay.
lifetime.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over one other book of 2025 I really enjoyed. I have a few more, but there's nothing really anything. We've already talked about the Aaron John universe all year, so I'm not gonna really add anything to that. I mentioned my love of Geiger. I mentioned my love of Rook Exodus, Redcoat at the Ghost Machine. I mentioned how great Battle Beast is from Kirkman. So Kirkman's just killing it all across the board. But I gotta bring that extra mention to Huck Big Bad World. This sequel had no business being as great as it was. And to be fair, it did not need a sequel. It really did not. But am I glad we got it? Yes. It got tragic, it got heartfelt, and had a very wonderful, uplifting ending. And just seeing Huck continue to do more good deeds never gets old. And this story really puts him through the ringer. It really did. I was very happy with this. And I feel like Raphael Albuquerque's arc got even better, which is crazy because there's a 10-year gap, 10 or 11-year gap. And I feel like his style got even better, even more cinematic. I loved Huck Big Bad World, and it's hard to tell. It didn't feel like there was hinting at of a third series. It felt like this was it. But to be fair, it didn't feel like there was a setup for a second series as well. So it's hard to tell if there will be more. If this is where it stops, I'm happy. But if there's more and the quality can maintain, I will welcome it. But Huck Big Bad World absolutely rocked my socks as far as like the limited series that came out between Vatican City, Nemesis Forever, Huck Big Bad World. I enjoyed them all, but this was like the runaway for me. Like not even close. This is probably the one like I'll go back to for rereads throughout time. Whereas Vatican City I enjoyed, but I don't think I'll be going back to it as much. Nemesis Forever has been really good. I don't know if it'll have the same like no rereadability, but Huck Big Bad World for me is going to for sure have that. Huck Big Bad World already feels like, oh man, I can't wait till this comes back in a big, gigantic ass hardcover collected library edition from Dark Horse, the same way I got King of Spies and soon to be Starlight as well and Reborn. And that was my tangent. Gents, do you want to throw in a book that's come out this year that you enjoy, and then we'll get into Spidey and F4?
Oh, I mean, the obvious ones are there. Like Transformers has obviously been a big winner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Flash Gordon for what I was reading of it. It became a problem of I was literally the only person at my shop who was reading the book, and so it just became a one that they couldn't really order for me, as they weren't as willing to order for me. And plus, as I started to kind of thin out my collection, I'm like, oh, I have let like 5 of these pile up before I got to reading to them. I enjoyed it, I liked it, but it just wasn't quite. Mm. Ultimately, yes, I did enjoy that. In addition, I would also point to Common America, which has been continuing to thrive and succeed.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm glad you mentioned that because I earlier in the show I was mentioning non-monthlies from like the internet, crowd
Yep.
funds and all that. I had a whole crowd fund section I was talking to, so I'm glad you mentioned that. Just add to the list now. Seriously, I'm glad you mentioned it. Yeah, go on about Common America. Because
I mean,
I'm reading Arc Athena from Iconic Comics, so why not you bring something to the table with Iconic? Because they're a
well,
great company. They really are.
well, not only that, Common America as a company has been fundamentally just knocking it out of the park in ways that no one else is. Uh, they put out albums. They've been having like official cosplayers going out to promote it.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting merchandise put into shops in Japan. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's a Common America VTuber now who has several thousand
What?
subscribers. Like, yeah, it's crazy how popular it's been
That
getting.
is insane.
Let me see if I can. Let's see,
Dude,
Common
Give
America
it up.
VT.
on a
Please
small
give it
tangent,
up.
there's a lot of different uh, adult oriented artists on Twitter that
Mm-hmm.
got some characters turned into VTubers. One is Lucia. There's a couple from the guy of Living with Gamer Girl and Hipster Girl. They just, yeah, some of the characters were turned into VTubers for some reason, and is kind of thing now. For some reason, especially the ones that are adult oriented. The normal comics don't do that much. I don't know if the public is not there.
Ghost Machine's been killing it. I agree, Subhuman. I'm a few out behind on Redcoat. That's the only one I'm behind on. But dude, Geiger went from like I love the first volume, and then they did the 2-issue miniseries, and then it finally became an ongoing. And at first, the ongoing started off a bit slow with stellar art, but it's now evolved into my favorite book. If you had asked me at the beginning of the year what was my favorite one, I probably would have said Redcoat. But now Geiger is my absolute favorite. It really is. Gary Frank is killer. Even the fill-in artist, Eduardo Pensica, was killer too, which is shocking. Why I'm like, the fill-in artist is great. And the story has just gotten so damn good with Geiger. I'm so glad to see it. It's now a monthly series, 18 or 19 issues, and I'm having a blast of a time with Geiger. And of course, Rick Exodus, tons of spiders in the last issue, which freaks the fuck out of a lot of my buddies. I love it. Jason Fabok, I mean, he's the modern day Jim Lee, but better. I'll say it. I said it and meant it. He's the modern day Jim Lee, but better. He really is. And Mohammed said, before I get it up for Caster, Hill guys, Fantastic Four issue 87. Dr. Doom had FF right where he wants them. I plan to read Uncanny X-Men issue 186. DC Comics where I'm reading issue except Fourth World. Your priorities are straight, dude. That's what that's called. Your priorities are straight. Thank you again for inviting me. Oh, dude. I was actually just talking about this episode at the dinner table Christmas Day. I'm not bullshit. This was discussed, comfort and joy, about why everyone of all ages needs to watch this episode.
Well, this is a little bit different because this is from Solidus JJ. He's been doing a lot of amazing comic book stuff lately. But by the way, that issue that you're going on to, Muhammad said, 186 for Uncanny X-Men is Life Death. That is a really good one because that's a good one for Forge and Storm. But yeah, anyway, this is JJ Solidus JJ put out a new video. I thought I would bring it up for us.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm glad you did bring it up, dude. Because we were talking about like what was good like Christmas stuff at the dinner table that came out in the 21st century, and knowing me, I'm pretty fairly knowledgeable on my Christmas culture, and I mentioned some stuff, and I brought up like the Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell, and we're like, oh, Kurt Russell did Santa. I'm like, yeah, and it came out on Netflix in 2018. And even its sequel was good too. And I was shocked that a genuine Christmas movie with a sequel came out with Kurt Russell in 2018 and 2020 on Netflix. And they were both great. And they were as genuine Christmas as it got. It was insane that those, had any business being as good as they were. It was shocking. And I brought up this Justice League episode called Comfort and Joy. My younger brother, who's like 6 years younger than me, so I'm 38, he's 32. He likes a lot of Marvel. And I'm like, okay, find this episode. If you have to get HBO Max or just buy the DVD collection that has all of Unlimited, that has this episode, whatever you got to do, just watch this episode. Comfort and Joy. And then, of course, I brought up Batman, the Brave and the Bold, the one with Red Tornado. That's a fantastic episode too. So good. So good.
Well,
and I brought
overall was fantastic.
Read by Nature. JL2 needs more recognition for me and demonstrates you don't need a shared cinematic universe to tell the story of it. Yes. If you make the story accessible enough, people can go with it. And I hate this idea of the audience is dumb. They won't get it. No, the audience is smarter than you think. Even normies, for all the flaws normies have, they will understand if you make something just accessible enough, they can just go with it. They can just roll with the punches. And I swear up, and down, left, right, and center on that, and I will, and I'll continue to. Justice League Unlimited proved it because there's a lot of people who watch that show, never read a damn comic book in their life, but they love that show. That show proves so much shit. And you put on now, and all the episodes hold up. All of them. Put on any episode. Even the least worst episode has something about it that's rewatchable. You could say maybe it's not good. Okay, fine. But there's still something you can find to like about those episodes. Bruce Timm captured lightning in a bottle with Justice League Unlimited. And of course, Justice League. Oh, dude, question authority. Oh, Vince, you're speaking my language. The Great Brain Robbery too? Yeah. Oh, dude, Lexus Flash is hilarious. We could go all
I have no
day
idea who
about
this is.
That was amazing when he did the whole Lexus Flash. I had no idea who this is. It showed you how much of an everyday guy Wally West was. Seriously, so fucking good.
There was one other great line they had there where it was Wally in Lex's body, where he's like walking out of the villain bathroom. They're like, and I think it was like Copperhead looks over, and is like, "Aren't you gonna wash your hands?" She says, "No, I'm evil."
God damn it.
No, I'm evil.
Yeah, Vince got it.
Oh,
let me go
no,
ahead.
I'm evil. I love
Thank you
it
again
so
for inviting me
much.
over for Christmas. No trouble at all. No one should celebrate Christmas alone. Oh, this one's always been crazy about Christmas. We used to have to wrap the presents in lead foil so he wouldn't peek.
You mean Santa wrapped them?
Oh, of course, dear. Now, Mr. Martian, I want you to have your first Christmas.
Santa wrapped those gifts, right?
Yes, yes.
Because you just said that you wrapped them.
I misspoke. Okay, fine. Thank you for your gift.
Is Santa real?
Ah, Jesus
I
Christ.
mean, you would tell me by now if Santa was real or not, right?
Yes, Clark, he's real.
Okay, because this is not some cute little innocent thing for me. This is a big deal. Santa's a big deal for me. I don't mess around with Santa.
We know, Clark.
I'm not saying that the naughty and nice lists are the only reason I go out there and do good, but they are a big motivator.
Yeah, we know, Clark, and that's why we were telling you, but it's real. Santa's real. He did all your gifts, and he still does it today. Well, all right then. All right, now, Martha, as you were saying...
Mr. Martian, I want you to have
John,
your...
read their mind.
As you see, it's getting a little bit of a twist on it, but it's like, oh, we're going here with it.
Dude, I've never seen that before. Amazing. That was amazing.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
Oh,
I just wanted to read your minds and know for sure. Is Santa real or not? Yes or no? He could read your
I don't know
minds.
if I should be in the middle of this.
Gosh darn it, Clark. Just drop it and enjoy the holiday.
Well, if it isn't Jolly St. Nick himself. Having a silent night tonight, are we? Fine. Be that way. See if I care. I know what you're thinking anyways. Wow, Lex Luthor all alone on Christmas night. What a sad sight that must be. Well, you get used to it. It gets lonely here on the top. I'd imagine you might understand, but I doubt it. Are you expecting something? Because I can assure you, Superman, I have no grand scheme for Christmas. You won't hear a peep from me. I'll be spending it here. Is that why you're here? You think I care for this pity party that you're throwing for me? That I need your company on this oh-so-lonesome night? Maybe that is the one thing I don't understand. How can I have everything, yet feel like I have nothing? And yet those with nothing seem to have everything they ever wanted. Everything I've ever wanted. Is that why you're here?
Reminds me of the Daredevil
Be
comic
my
with Daniel
friend
Senti
this
and Ramita.
lonesome Christmas night? To teach me the meaning of Christmas?
Is Santa real? Is Santa
what?
real because my...
Is Santa real? All the build
Wow.
up.
Wow.
Oh,
Insane.
I'm telling you, he's one of the best like YouTubers out here. Well, content creators. 'Cause
Mm-hmm. You sold me.
I
for
was
freaking
not
sure.
expected that one.
I was not either, but it was damn good though. That's for sure. I had a damn blast watching that.
Parents said that he is, but then they also said that they wrapped the gifts, and I'm confused.
Are you fucking
No,
with
this is
me?
serious.
That's why you're here.
I
You
just need
came to
know
my
if Santa's real, because
building to ask me if
Santa's
Santa
a
Claus is
gentleman.
real.
Is
That's why
Santa-
you're here.
Oh, is he real?
If I answer your question, will you leave me alone?
Yeah,
Yes, Superman, Santa's real.
for real?
Yes.
You promise?
Yes!
Okay, thanks.
Is everything okay, sir?
Yes, I'm fine. You know who was just there? It was Superman, and he was asking me if Santa Claus was real. Do you believe that? He came up to my window. I mean, how old do you have to be to believe that Santa Claus isn't real? I mean, how else do the presents get there? Everyone's asleep. How do they get under the tree? You explain that, Mercy, can you?
Of course, sir.
Oh, I need to kill that guy.
Wow. Wow. Insane.
Oh,
Hey, I've endorsed like hell Daredevil number 253, which is the issue of, because Lex Luthor mentioned the concept of having everything and nothing. We touched upon that. I think it was 2 years ago when we had Clobby. Daredevil number 253 from Anno Senti and John Romita Jr. That's one of my favorite Christmas comics. And you see when Matt Murdock is celebrating with a bunch of poor people, enjoying Christmas, and then Kingpin is all alone in his ivory tower equivalent type of thing. I love that issue so much. This is funny, like, and that issue is so well written. And you look at like Innocenti and Ramita Jr., and that was at a time where you had people, let's just say, have two different ways of thought, and they were able to come together to make that issue what it was. It's insane. Insane. But guys, we got some comics to talk about of ASM and F4. Obviously, Pablo and I didn't talk about it last week, but we're gonna do it tonight. We're gonna do it tonight. So, are we ready? We're gonna start off with ASM because there's gonna be some conversation on this one between the three of us. That's for sure. ASM number 91? Yeah, guys. Are you ready?
Are you ready? No, shut down! I said, are you
ready? ASM number 91 from Stanley and Gil Kane. And there's a lot to unfold about this issue. Good and bad, but somehow, even with the bad, in a weird way, somehow it works. I can't believe I'm admitting that, but somehow it works. This must have been the most, let's just say, preachiest Stan has ever gotten before he went to preaching his back, reverted back to preaching his bad. So we all talked about a few weeks back. Oh, Dave C. What's up, Dave? I was talking about you earlier, how you're going to be a guest on January 6th for Toxic Tuesday with the Ice Pirates. Is this the death of George Stacy? Well, that exact death happened in issue 90. We talked about 2 weeks ago. We're talking about the fallout now with this issue. Spider-Man's out in the run. People think he's a murderer, and they're not fond of it. And, of course, Gwen, his girlfriend, is very resentful. And that makes sense. A lot of the emotions of this make sense. The fallout of people reacting about it makes sense. Spider-Man being a what the hell do I do makes sense. Him trying to figure out how he can do this whole thing that's impossible with Gwen, I buy all of that. Now, the political stuff here really escalates because they involve a campaign as such. And Gwen gets involved with the campaign. And I get it. She's emotionally grieving. She's hurt. She wants to make a change because she feels like if this whole thing didn't happen, then, maybe my dad still be here. So that part I can roll with, regardless of what type of candidate she's helping endorse. I get that. Everything about that makes sense. But some of the preaching in this issue got a little bit much. And that's unfortunate because there's some really strong moments in this issue, whether it's the personal stuff, Spidey on the run, Peter Parker being in conflict. Gil Kane's art is seriously great too. He's once again a lot more dynamic than the Buscema, than the Romita Sr., than the Ditko. He's really solid. I love what Gil Kane has to offer. And of course, JJ's cashing in on this moment as well. So everyone's really all in on getting after Spidey and running this candidate. No, I do have a problem with this concept that if you are not the one of my biggest issues with the political stuff is Captain George Stacy. I don't care what his political position is. You got to show me what makes his position his position. We did not get that covered prior to this issue because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you sought the crime, you sought the crime." You could say maybe he was lenient on Spider-Man, sure, but was he lenient on crime in general? I didn't feel like he was lenient on criminals. It felt like there's a bad guy. He took care of it. And now we're trying to give him this position that he never had. It was like we were trying to retroactively change his entire position to suit the story, saying, oh, well, he sought the crime. And now I'm going to run this candidate who's all about law and order. Okay, had the position. But George didn't show he was soft on crime. Once again, you're lenient at one guy, even a guy who has good intentions, who's actually doing good. But that one guy shouldn't translate to all. That felt very dishonest. So if you want to call George Stacy a lefty or hippie, moderate, old school liberal, okay, fine. You could say, fine, that was his position, but nothing showed that he was soft on criminals and issues. It felt like whenever he needed to do his job, he did his job. And now we're throwing that all away to say he now didn't do his job. I fucking hate that. Come on. And then this whole idea that if you're on the left, you're for just everyone just Florida man in the process. But if you're on the right, it's law and order, but of the most extremist nature when there's so much more detail. And I know it's an overused word, especially nowadays, but there was genuine nuances. And this, I know Stan talked about how he didn't like being preachy. He must have had a moment in time where maybe let's just say he got off the rails. And this was that moment. I feel like they could have done better execution with George in his position. He was lenient with Spider-Man, would be more honest. I feel like they should have done that part a little better. Now, Gwen endorsing Bullet, okay, I get it. Makes sense. She's not in the best state of mind. And this is a candidate who's going to use her emotions to use that as a platform to, hey, I'm going to run on this position to crack down on criminals. Okay, great. And if you think about it, prior to issue 90, so there's 89 issues. There was, just say, maybe a mention of a protest or how Peter Parker felt about protests, maybe one or two panels of the 89 issues. Those one or two panels of 89 issues don't make an entire run political. Only the last two issues have we now had some political themes start to get rampant. And that's fine. But it just so out of nowhere with George. I can't roll that. I can't buy it. Now, the Bullet guy, I can roll with it. I can roll it regardless of his leanings because he's a new player they're bringing into the game to run off taking advantage of Gwen, and he didn't like George. I'm all for that. But this whole idea that he was now Captain George was super like soft on curls, fuck that shit. He did his job too. Lefty or not, he did a job, and he did a damn good job being as genuine of a police officer as he could get, regardless of political position. Go ahead, Casper. That's my thoughts overall. Those are my thoughts. Overall, pretty good, but it could have been stronger. But go ahead.
Oh, it just seems to me that it's a little more on the nose than that. Because if you look at Bullet, he looks a bit like Richard Nixon, who had been president for about a year at this point. So you can kind of see where you can see some of that those political thoughts kind of going into it from the bigger picture. I mean, look at him here. That looks like Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, the way that he campaigns and everything is Nixon. It is Nixon.
Oh, and that's probably what happened there because Stan and Steve were very different politically, and that I remember hearing about them arguing. Yeah, Stan was a bit more of a hippie. Obviously, Ditko was more to the right, and he thought all of it was silly. And even when he had Buscema on, it was very lightly touched on. We don't know Buscema's position. Maybe he was a lefty, but he just didn't want to talk about it. But this is the very first issue where character consistencies fall off the rails for me. That's my biggest problem is the consistency. As on the nose as it is, I can slightly forgive it, but the inconsistency drives me more crazy. But carry on, Caster.
Well, it's just kind of frustrating because with everything about Bullet, they're building up to be this big villain, but here we are just kind of calling him a fascist, and it's like, and you have Robbie who's got problems with him, and they have Robbie going on about how he's talking about lynch mobs, and it's like, well, we don't really see that coming across with the character from from with this, so it's like it it's a little annoying to get little bits like that in here. Like I liked Robbie generally, but this is a moment where I'm questioning it a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even he felt left out of nowhere. He's always worked with JJ, and JJ and him have been always different. And yet, they had their disagreements and they were civil, and then they have their agreements and they still work together and get along, even with a bit of a hectic relationship. My biggest problem is how everything just feels so out of nowhere with these characters. It was like we changed these characters for a brief moment to suit this specific story I wanted. And it's unfortunate because there's some threads that are from previous issues, like the death of Captain George, Gwen Stacy being in emotional outrage, which is fine because she lost her dad. A lot of those things, I don't know about you, Cass. I can understand her position on that, wanting to do something. But to me, it's just like for Robbie and JJ and Captain, it felt like everything changed about these characters to adjust to this story. And that's
Sure,
something
but
that happens a lot nowadays.
at least with JJ, like at the end of the day, the ultimate motivation for him that wins him over to Bullet is I'll deliver you Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense for why JJ would get behind him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Oh yeah,
that's enough for me.
oh yeah, and that more than enough for me too.
But
More
also, there's something to be said that there has always been sleazebags that use the media as a tool for their political game, for their political campaign,
Oh, of course.
and that's perfectly portrayed here. So there's a lot to be said about the actual intention, but the depiction shows something that we know actually exists in both sides, and we have seen it in action.
Mm-hmm.
So even though is a bit slanted towards one side, it's still quite realistic. It's not the depiction of everybody on the other side as demons, as monsters, these people are evil. It's like there's a guy that will use whatever you want,
Mm-hmm.
and there's another guy that will publicize that,
Mm-hmm.
and people will eat it up because it's all about the perspective, it's all about the push, it's not about the real character of the politician or the truth on the media.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that is a reality that we face all the time in every
Mm-hmm.
side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good point.
No, that's a very good point.
I guess kind of the ultimate consensus for this is it's significant because it is the aftermath of the death of Captain George Stacy,
Mm-hmm.
and so from that perspective, it is worth having to read, but it's fundamentally just kind of a mess story where the only reason why you would really probably want to hold on to this one or really go trying to dig this one up is ultimately for just it's tied to such a linchpin moment in Peter's life, and also
Very pivotal.
plus
Very pivotal.
next the next issue is going to be the appearance of Iceman. So we get
Mm-hmm.
so it is the sort of opening salvo to potentially a better ending to the story.
Yeah. I understand Paulo's point. For me, to me, a lot of this just feels outside of Bullet mischaracterized. I don't even care if Bullet is a stand-in for Nixon because you know why? He's an original character. Fine, I'll accept that. I have no issue with that. I'll entertain it to the moon and back. But the sudden changes with George, where was George lenient on criminals in earlier issues? Where did he just give a pass to people?
Never. That's kind of the
Never.
point. You can point the exaggeration in the discourse, and that exaggeration is common on political discourse.
Mm-hmm.
Telling that your opponent that is holding office or were held in office was a bad man because he was too lenient or because he was too severe, or you will use whatever you can to destroy the image of the person. And the fact that
Mhm.
he's using Gwen Stacy, that is the daughter of the guy that he is kind of trashing,
Yeah.
as a tool on his political campaign, hits harder.
Yeah, that I can roll with because that makes sense. He's taking advantage of this girl. He never liked George, but he knows he can use her to try to get elected. I okay, cool. I can roll with that. That does make for an intriguing story for me. I can see it. Any candidate would do that regardless of position, regardless of the intent of what Stan was writing here. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But I just, man, it drove me nuts with the retroactively changing of characters. And it's definitely one of those things where people can use, let's just say, this issue and the preceding issue and say, this was always political. And it's like, okay, these issues were, but show me how this translates to the 89 issues that preceded it. It doesn't, but please, all you're telling me out of 91 issues, you're taking 1% and saying it magically translates as 100% is mental gymnastics that will never magically work. And that's unfortunate because there's a lot of strong threads. I like seeing Peter in this position. He's now dealing with a very significant death, and he's in a damned if you do, damned if you don't. With Gwen, do I come out? How do I come out about me being Spider Man and the fact that bullets on him because he takes pictures for Spider Man? And he's being like a mobster. I love these types of parts. I'm good with all this. I think this is great here. And the splash pages that Gil Kane did of Bullet as Nixon, wanting to capture Spider-Man, I thought that was all good. I'm good with that shit, man. I thought those parts were like, okay, this shit's good here. I think when at its highs, it could go as an 8, but at its lows, it could go as it's like a 3. We're like I said, at its lowest. So that's for me. If I had to say I'd say overall, if I had to do like a score, I'd probably say it's like a 6. Because there's some great stuff in here. There's undeniably some great stuff, even with the bullet stuff.
The way that they resolve a lot of the things, the way that they manage a lot of the things is actually really smart. Uh, a big part of this face off with the thugs, with the thugs that Billy sent to get information about Spider Man.
Yes.
Well, this will backfire. And that's the good part. You see a man that is setting his own trap,
Uh-huh.
right? This politician is doing exactly what you should not do. He's
Yep.
going
Agreed.
using force to try to make people fear you, and because they fear you, they will give you what you want. In this
Mhm.
case, information about the Spider-Man. But he attacked an employee of maybe one of his biggest supporters.
Yep. And
Will this?
JJ likes Peter, even though he doesn't
Yeah.
like him. He has a soft spot for Peter, and JJ will stick up for Peter if he needs to. With all his mayhem, he has that weird spot of him where I'm going to stick up for Peter.
So this is a case of Billy is an enemy of Spider-Man, but his worst enemy right now is Peter Parker. And
Yeah.
he doesn't know it. He doesn't understand the whole context. I love the use of the spider signal. I love the use of the old school gadgets. I love a lot of this issue, right?
Yes.
I can see the political intent. I also can see the political situation on the United States on the time of this comic. And that's why it's so weird, because you can understand the level of corruption and political manipulation that was the 60s on the
Oh,
United
yeah.
States.
60s,
And
70s. It was a
yeah,
dark time.
because of
Absolutely.
that, this doesn't feel out of place like in current days, because in current days you will see that don't create an enemy that is in the other political side. They will just create the argument why the other political side is the enemy. In this case, they are giving you a reason to mistrust this guy that is using the other side. So they are not demonizing, they are not going against, they are just portraying what a normal populist will do, give the people what they want. He's saying the topics that has been quite an issue for longer than you believe. Right now, they tell you that everything about immigration, about the economy, is something that is happening now because before everything was better. Dude, there were homeless camps on New York on the 70s where people were just there trying to live so they can work another day. Actually, they live. That movie has a good representation on how New York used to be on that era because the main character of They Live is a hobo that goes to hobo camps on New York. That's the beginning of the movie. Well, that used to be the case. People that went city to city, living in those camps and doing any work that they could. It was garbage. The economy worldwide, it was an absolute disaster. We had a lot of wars, and we never got a good economic recuperation until the 90s. In the 90s, that's why you see the boom of culture, the boom of everything. The things become way more commoditized because it was a better era. But in this time, the politicians were doing exactly that. And
Oh, yeah, I
the
don't doubt
feeling
it.
of everything was exactly that. So it depicts a lot of the animosity, a lot of the political situation quite correctly. And it's not
Oh yeah.
demonizing Democrats or Republicans. It's saying that somebody is using the Republicans and is a bad guy. So it's a different context from comics current day. Comics current day are political tools just to attack. This, even if has a lot of weird stuff, is still quite not in the middle, but they tell you that it's not the other side's fault. They point to another enemy, and that's something that is lost. Current day, Superman is fighting politicians in a way that feels like he should be in the other party, right? Here is, well, politics used against Spider-Man. That has happened before. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
new. It's more clear on the intention, but anything on this issue is actually new. It's just more to the face, I will say.
Yeah, and those are all things I'm good with the accuracy of depicting a lot of political elements, the turmoil. I'm all good with that. I'm with you in that sense. I like Star Trek. These comics are not meant to be political, except when it drives the story. And you can argue to a point there are parts where it does drive the story, and for me, there's parts where it does it very well and awesomely bad, and not awesomely bad, but like bad bad. No stories were morality plays, so they were never always. Yeah, I agree on that. And what's up, Joe Dog? Said, what's up? 2025 has been worse here. Hey, I'm sorry, man. You've had a bad year. I had a pretty good year, but there's bad things that come with every year. But you know, always on the up and up, trying to get on the redemption side of turning things around. Because for
Uh,
me, I'm not a dweller.
yeah, I will tell you this. 2025 was the worst year, but you survived.
Oh hell yeah, I survived.
No, it's that
So
easy.
far.
If you think that this was the worst year, just think that you survived that year. So if it was the worst year, well, you are god damn it, you're stronger than you think, and well, that's it, man. Dude, this year I had two surgical interventions, one minor, one actually really scary. I almost died. I got a lot of financial troubles because of my illness. And at the end, I'm still alive.
You
Somehow,
are.
I was not eating anything but canned tuna on water, because if it was on oil, I will die.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still alive. Trust me. Year was shitty. It doesn't matter. You survive. You're stronger.
I feel stronger, and I had a pretty wild world in my personal life this year,
Hell
and
yeah.
I feel like I conquered a lot of it ultimately, and I feel like I'm really pumped to go into 2026, regardless of, let's just say, the social climate, regardless of the economical climate. I'm not going to let it be the thing that holds me back. To me, at the end of the day, I own my own freedom, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure 2026 is a stronger year for me and my personal life, stronger than 2025. It started off rough, continued to be rough, got rougher, and I feel like the fourth quarter of the year was the strongest part for my personal life. And I'm going to make sure 2026 is all guns blazing. All guns blazing, forward, not backward. So fuck letting this shit drag me down. I think of the song "You Won't Bring Me Down," ironically from a band called Suicidal Tendencies. I know Iron In's lost me, but the message is so freaking true, guys. But overall, I feel like we have said all we can say on Spider-Man. Are any guys got anything else you want to say on this comic?
It's it's I would say it's probably one of the worst issues we've gotten of the lot,
Oh,
but
easily.
that's but which is ultimately because there's so much spectacular books in Spider-Man up to this point.
Oh
And
yeah.
and even if the franchise was just kind of even if the stuff was just kind of okay, this one just doesn't really do anything special. It's here just to make Gwen Stacy hate Spider-Man so we can push the drama.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because it was following up what was basically a near 10 out of 10 issue. It was following up lightning in a bottle.
Yep.
And it was like, here's how you fall flat on your ass one issue later. So I'm hoping with number 92, my visit to it will say, hey, you know what? This kind of balanced out. We'll get there. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I was worried like there for a sec for a twist. Hey, no, not with us guys.
But
Yeah. Okay.
I think with that, we have a much better book to pair with this.
Oh
So
yeah.
this is
Oh
really one of the weird
yeah.
times where the Fantastic Four book is better than the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And dude, and it's not just because Spider-Man had a on the nose political thread to it. This was just a very fun issue, just on its own merits. Even like you just put this way, if there was a good Spider-Man issue that was tied next to this, I would have probably said this is just as good, maybe in some cases better. And they had one of my all-time favorite characters having the spotlight in this issue. You know what? We're gonna do a rarity. Pablo, I'm gonna let you go first on Fantastic Four number 580.
The whole concept of the issue is interesting to me because it's Franklin, Valeria, and Johnny issue that has not right to be that good, because, well, they just want a new toy. There's a new toy coming out by the Impossible Man. Okay. That seems like a stupid idea, but let's roll with it. Shenanigans ensue, and I love that Johnny is ready to fight. Everybody is there with their own mindset of, oh, is this guy bad? Is this guy good? Maybe he really reformed. And the bad guy is like, I swear I won't do anything bad today, except this, and tries to kill everybody with toys. And then they use the toys to try to defeat him. It's simple,
The
man.
way they went about the
It's
Impossible
simple.
Man, though, I loved it. I loved it. Go on.
Dude, there's something important about having these small, simple issues. The only real bad part is that they have, again, those explanations of what's going on New World, and they interrupt the comic for that. Although I'm kind of interested, I know what's going to happen with Planet Ultron and everything, but in this issue in particular, I don't really care. I don't need that. They are doing it anyway, so okay, let's go, let's see. And yeah, it's a simple fight. Johnny cannot use his powers fully. There's a lot of different variants that make the fight interesting. uh, but it's simple. It's just they defeat the bad guy. That's it. I don't know. I didn't need anything else. Uh, Previous issues were too full of explanations on Sue on Atlantis that they tell in this issue that she's on Atlantis, so she's not there to help. Mr. Fantastic is doing something else, and but they don't show you pages and pages of them doing whatever they are doing. They just give you a small explanation, and that's it, with the exception of New World. The story flows, everything goes on. It's simple. I like it. I need this. I need old school comics that, well, except that face. That face is terrifying, but okay. I don't know. I like this issue.
Okay.
Yeah, and
There's a
well,
yeah.
well, right away though, Pablo, we have just the sad moment of Franklin, who wants nothing more than to go out and be with his father. Like at the end of the day, here's Johnny. He's the fun uncle, but he's not
Yeah.
Franklin's dad.
And there's a bit of that sensation of, but he's spending all the time with Valeria. Yeah, he started Future Foundation and he's doing this, but you are still a kid, and when your parents didn't pay you attention, you didn't care about the whole world. You cared about your parents paying you attention, and you can feel Franklin on that moment. You can feel that sensation, but at the same time, you can understand the position for Reed and for Valeria, because, well, they are doing something at least seemingly important.
Well,
Still,
it's that fundamental idea that frankly it doesn't matter, because it's like they're literally going to be the ones to go off and save the world. You're right, Pablo, because it is that idea taking to that logical next step. They're here they are talking about finding ways to basically save the world, reshape reality, and all kinds of stuff that's beyond like most people's understandings, talking about universal problems. And Franklin just like, Dad, I want to go to the toy store. Will you take me? You said you would.
Mhm.
It felt very human, and which is crazy because of how powered these characters were. I love that too. That even with their crazy lives, they still have these normal human everyday stuff. Like Franklin just wants to go to a Toy Story. Luckily, Uncle Johnny is there, and he makes good on the trip. And of course, he wants to be a show off. He wants some confirmation on who he is, his status. The most typical Johnny Storm behavior for me. That's when I get the most out of my Johnny Storm. It was when he wants his confirmation biases. Hey, who's really the coolest guy on the block type of thing? Kids, oh, Spider-Man. He's like, oh, God, here we go again. Yeah. So stuff like that, I thought was outstanding. I really
Iron
enjoyed
Man.
that. Oh, yeah, Iron Man with the repulsor blast.
Yep.
Oh, dude. And then I love the concept, the way they factored in the Impossible Man and Arcade. And it felt like not just a Fantastic Four comic book, but it felt like a Marvel Universe comic too as well. I love that. It felt like it was a great way to thread in like some lesser known characters for a moment and still make it feel like it fits in the continuity of the world. It felt like this is an issue that happened, it mattered, even if it's a smaller story, just to showcase where Johnny and Franklin are. And I like also how even with Johnny's cockiness, he looks at Franklin and he sees some relatability in Franklin. Hey, we're kind of like the outcasts of the family. We're our own misfits. We kind of march to the own beat of our own drum. We're like each other. We're two peas in a pod type of thing. I like that he was expressing that like humanity of himself, that different type of humanity to him, because Johnny can understand where he's coming from. And Franklin doesn't have that same relatability with the rest of his family. But Lucky's got Uncle Johnny there. Like, I get you, kid. I've been the man. I understand how it is So it's good that they kind of balance each other out in that sense. I finally someone who gets me type of thing and his family. So he's always gonna have that little extra fondness from just off of that default. I love that. And seeing how the way Arcade like did his whole setup, we all knew Arcade was gonna have something mischievous up his sleeve. But the way he did with using Impossible Man's powers into like the Hulk hands gloves and the figurines, the stash of his figurines, I thought it was silly and awesome. It was like something that came out of like a Roger Moore era Bond movie or Silver Age comic book. I loved it, and I loved the way they, countered everything the Arcade did. And Impossible Man's like, I'll take care of this guy now that we've got him. I loved all of that. It was so fun. And yeah, Neil Edwards' art's not really all that good. His adult face is fine, but his kid's faces struggle so hard. He's lucky that there's a good Hickman story in here that really makes up for it. And obviously, the Impossible Man is doing his best, just enough to look like Superman, but not enough for copyright. I love how the kids are getting excited about the new thing, which that makes sense, especially at a big toy store in New York City. This is probably their equivalent of a FAO Schwartz type of thing. I really like that.
If anything, I would say for the art, like he's a good artist to have for the Impossible Man. Where you can get away with having these.
I would agree with that. I would agree on that. With certain things, he really Neil Edwards succeeds, but man, with the kids, his kids are not good. They're not good. I like when he does Impossible. I even like the architecture. I even like his Ben Grimm even. But the kids are just, man, they know how to take you out of it. He's not a bad storyteller. He knows how to make things flow, and he understands the Marvel universe. So I'll give him that. So he's not bad or terrible, but he's definitely he falls short. I'll say that. I'll minor retraction. He falls short in many spots. That's for sure. But
there's some great bits of merchandise in here.
Oh God, dude, the merchandise was great to see. Like seeing Spider-Man and Iron Man stuff were characters he had just heard about, and of course you see Bucky's Captain America as well. I was like, oh, two of the characters that Franklin mentioned. Those are exactly the characters Johnny definitely didn't need to hear about and see about again. I was like, man, Toy Stores were cool.
And also the fact that we got the big giant purple Impossible Man fists.
Yeah.
Which is great because by this point we had long since had the big green Incredible Hulk fist. So it's a great little piece.
Nod to the Hulk hands. Yeah, it was a great nod to the Hulk hands. Yeah. Oh, dude. We were big in those. Me and my brother, my second oldest brother, we were huge into the Hulk hands. Huge. I love these type of stories, and we've had a very heavy focus on Reed. It was nice to have some attention be brought to Johnny for this issue, and then when you come back to it, like what was going on with Reed and Valeria and a lot of the kids he's been teaching, and this whole concept of going to how could we make Ben look normal again, but. It's like, okay, we've been down this road before, but then let's talk about, what? Hold on. This is about him temporarily looking at it. It'll come around once a year, but the rest of the year, you'll still have to be the thing. And I was like, okay, that's a way of throwing a wrench in something that we have seen before, but on a different scale. I can accept that. I can roll with that concept. So I was cool with that. I thought that was a fun thread, and obviously, it's cool to see Reed and Valeria bonding, and Reed is clearly enjoying being a teacher and listening to what the students have to offer and giving their ideas a genuine shot. I really enjoyed that part. So we didn't get too much into what was going on with Sue, but it was funny to see Ben being dragged in by the kids and seeing his attitude towards it and be like, cool, maybe let's give this a shot type of deal. And I'm curious to see where it goes. I did look at the letters column, though, and my one bummer is that Dale Eaglesham is done. We're not going to get any more. But they did get this cool guy named Steve Epting, who will take place after Neil Edwards does an issue or two more. So Steve Epting is good as Eaglesham, so we'll definitely get some improvements on the art front. But the story, once again, makes up for it. It's so weird to think Hickman went to being this guy whose characters became so much more robotic and, dare I say, lifeless. Because, man, when he tells a story on humans and family and all their day-to-day lives, and when they need to be heroic. He knows how to human. He does know how to. You would swore it was a different writer when he writes these stories that were just so monotone. It's weird to see the writer he became because he knows how to tell the F4 as a sci-fi family first story. It's really weird to see what he became. It makes me not understand it. But Hickman once again really carries this story. He really does, and because he carries it, I really am fond of this issue. I had a blast with it because of the story it told.
Like the only really lull in the story in this comic is where we get those like 2 pages about New Earth, those like 2 or 3 pages about New
Yeah.
Earth, where it's just like we're getting more of that, I'm like ready to flip past stuff. I'm like, yeah, I feel my eyes glazing over, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, more New Earth stuff. I don't care about this. Then I stop. I'm like, wait, the Maestro. Okay, why are we bringing back the Maestro? I'm sure that's something we'll be touching on later. But then we end the story with going back to this bit about, oh, we found a way to fix you, Uncle Ben. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. You caught my interest. I gotta see where this goes now because, well, again, if Ben can turn back to human, but only for a week, it's like, well, does he get to control that? Does he get to choose like the time of year that happens? Like, there's a lot of details around this I want to know about.
Yeah, I like the analogies, and I'm glad Vince beat me to mention it, not like fixing you like you do with a dog. It's like telling a dog you can't be a dog. Yeah, I thought the analogies were really smart and very fantastic for like. So once again, the dialogue is so fitting for these characters. It's clear Hickman has a handle on these characters. He understands that these characters speak a certain way, and it needs to be a sci-fi family story first. I'm glad Hickman has such a strong handle on these characters. I realize I was way overly harsh on him as a writer. I still have some issues, but it's definitely a lot more on the artistic side. The new word stuff outside of the Maestro, nothing else really interests me about it. Hopefully, something about it pays off that gets me to get interested. But as of now, I really don't care about the new word stuff. But everything else is so good on the writing side. I could just like put that all on the side and just forget about it and roll with everything else with happiness and glee.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about about the idea they're putting forth here, where I mean, Ben himself says like you've been trying to fix me for years, Stretch, but you mean to tell me a bunch of kids outsmarted you?
Oh, dude. I thought it was actually pretty amusing. And the fact that Reed said, well, yeah, because they thought of a thing. And I blame that on Reed's tunnel vision because Reed is so obsessed with everything he does that when you're so deep in your work, it's easy to miss a small detail or three. And I can apply it to that, and I can actually roll with it. It didn't really make it think it wasn't just about his dog outsmart. It was about the class outsmart. And say, hey, you missed a sliver of a detail here, and it's something that happens on a very sporadic occasion. It's not something that becomes the expectation going forward. If it starts to become a thing where it's a pattern, well, then I'll look at this a little differently in retrospect. But as of now, in this isolated moment, I can get this because it shows you not every guy gets every single thing in the world right. And that's even for the smartest of us. You're not going to be right on every single thing on the planet, no matter how smart you are. There's always going to be that one thing you're missing. That one thing, that one minor, even if that's it, just a minor Achilles heel. It's okay to have one. To me, it just shows you still have humanness to you. And these kids say, hey, you know, your heart was in the right place. But what if we did this little tweak? And I'm good with that. And this is the part where I'm fine with Edwards' art right here. I like the way he draws Ben Grimm. He's still rocky and burly, big. Of course, Hickman writes him the way he should talk. But man, Edwards with the kids, dude. Please do something, man. I'm granted it's been years, so I guess hopefully you got better. I don't know if you're still doing stuff, but woo-wee, dude. Guess turning Ben back his little prayer. Well, he's gone back to his idea, whether it's Stanley and Jack Kirby's run, was John Burns' run. every writer's kind of had their way of touching upon this concept, or at least most of them have. I'm sure there's a writer or two, if I think about it, that didn't, but most of them have had their take on how to do this. This does feel like a fresh way of going about, which is impressive considering this was in the late 2000s.
Yeah, it's almost a rite of passage when it comes to working on the Fantastic Four. There are certain things you have to do at some point. You have to have the Mole Man at some point in your book. You have
Yes.
to have Reed Richards trying to find a cure for the thing. You have to have the family fighting and coming together.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many little staples along the way that work.
Yes.
And
Agreed.
ultimately this was a good solid look. I think it's a solid I'm I'd say it's a solid 8.5. Like the action was fun, but not as big or out there as we've come to see from previous issues in the run. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just a fun little story. We get to see
Mm-hmm.
a couple of the goofy antagonist characters in the book
Mm-hmm.
teaming
Mm-hmm.
up in the most impossible, unlikely of ways. Like the Impossible Man wanting to merchandise.
Right. And then with Arcade, I love the silliness of it all. I'm probably
Arcade going on the straight and narrow, only to say, okay, maybe one little death trap.
maybe one. Yeah. Probably would go with like an 8, 8-1, but I definitely have a lot of the fond feelings that you have. I love the silliness. I love the acknowledgement of the wider Marvel universe. I love the Spider-Man thread. And of course, Arcade and Impossible Man in here. I love that it was Johnny Storm and Franklin centric. I feel like we're getting definitely some added depth to those characters in this run. Also, to show you once again, even with Johnny's hot headedness, there he definitely has a family bone in him, especially if it's someone who's kind of on his wavelength. Especially that. That definitely brings out Johnny's inner family man. I thought that was outstanding. And the Reed stuff definitely adds a layer of intrigue with the way we're going about the Ben Grimm part of this. It feels like too we're not just making this the Jonathan Hickman run of the comic. It just feels like the next issue of the story. So I'm feeling like this is just another issue that adds to the legacy numbering of the Fantastic Four. Right? It doesn't feel like, well, this is how I see the thing. This is how I see Reed Richards. This is how I see Susan Storm. It feels like Jonathan Hickman was writing a genuine Fantastic Four comic book, and he just happened to be the writer for it. That's all. Not a Jonathan Hickman book, which I feel like has become his major Achilles heel in the last, God, 12, 13, 14, 15 years with Marvel books. This feels like a Fantastic Four comic book, and I appreciate him writing the characters as the character. So I really enjoyed this issue, and it's something I definitely got to seek out in the singles for sure.
Well, it's
So,
easy to see. It's easy to see from this run just why Jonathan Hickman became such a household name when it came to comic
mm-hmm,
books.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. If I had jumped into this run first thing, I would have thought, wow, this guy's got a bright future. I said the same thing about Bendis when he did Daredevil and Alias, Jessica Jones. What could go wrong? We all know what wrong with Bendis after those two books. We all know horrifically well. Now, Deeple sent me this, said, the only comic related gift I got for my brother for Christmas, Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, Miller and Romita Jr. Dude, great story, great comic, great art. I know Clobby and I disagreed on the black mask suit, but I love it in the story. I love it. This story fucking rules, man. I don't know if you have not read it. If you have, well, hey, enjoy reading it again. But I'm happy for you, man. This is fun. This is so much fun with this story. Hold on, guys.
There's something about the old school Daredevil costume that I like better. I don't. Well, there's a couple of things on newer versions that I have liked, but they always try to do the armory thing and everything else. And,
Well, it always happens where inevitably all these costumes wind up. You have a writer, an artist, or the movies all trying to make them look more like body armor, and it's like no, Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate this. The sleek and simple works for a reason.
Yeah, there's okay. I can understand that people want their heroes to have better protection, better armor, and everything, but there's something about the rawness of the superhero in general. You know, the costume that is just tights that doesn't really give any protection, but the hero is still fighting even without an armor, even without anything as a fallback. There's something about that that gets lost on the armory versions. There's a scene on Avengers that actually says Avengers Age of Ultron. No, it's the original Avengers, not where Banner is explaining how he feels when he's the Hulk, and he says that is like having a raw nerve that he's just exposed. And yeah, most of the superheroes, if you think about it, actually work like that. And yeah, it's part of the fun of the superhero, taking the hit directly instead of padding in some way. It's more
Mm-hmm.
the art of avoiding the hit or fighting in a way that they can punch first and punch harder. There's an art of that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, I found something on eBay earlier today. I was just doing like a
Oh,
random eBaying type of thing. And this is not what you expect. It's not some big pricey thing. It was I saw this and I was just like, bro, what? This was real, and I couldn't believe it. It was just one of those things where I couldn't freaking believe it when I found it. And so I found the image, and I'm like, I gotta get it up for you guys. So I'm gonna get it up
did it?
because I'm capable of that, believe it or not. By the way, in case you're wondering why I turned my camera out, sorry, it was just I had abrupt appearance from my youngest. She showed up, and you got a lot of you guys know I'm very protective of her being on camera. So I was
Yeah.
just attending to that really quick. But it sounds like from what I heard on one of my earbuds, you guys caught on quick, and yeah, you carried it, and it was all good. So thank you guys for that. But okay, I found the thing, guys, bro. Okay, there's a saying that's been used a lot around here called "We used to be a proper country," and I'm gonna show you another, let's just say, piece of proof that showed we used to be a proper country. So earlier today, I got breakfast from Jack in the Box, and it was delightful. It really was. I freaking love it. And then I decided, oh, you know what? I wonder if like what Jack in the Box toys they have. So I just decided randomly type in Marvel, Jack in the Box Marvel. See, 2002, they had a collection of toys right here. You put them together. Captain America, Hawkeye, Daredevil, Invisible Woman, and the Hulk. And it looks like I'm not looking into the image. I don't know if that's like a comic. I gotta look in that. But this is in 2002, a toy set from Jack in the Box. I thought to myself, bro, we used to be a proper country. Daredevil as a monthly toy at Jack in the Box, and the Invisible Woman and Hawkeye. I mean, Captain America and Hulk, I could see, even though those were considered B or C, or Hulk's more or less A or B. But the Invisible Woman and Hawkeye and Daredevil, bro,
We
this
would
was
have loved it, but
23 years ago. So, needless to say, I bought the shit out of this Daredevil, and the guy already shipped it. Already shipped it. So I'm gonna be showing that shit off when I get on screen. Just I can't believe this existed. And it shows you if there was a Jack in the Box in my area in 2002, I would have easily bought this, but there was no Jack in the Box as early as they left Illinois as around the early 90s. Seacasters attending something. So Pablo, just hear me out on this. Dude, these actually look kick-ass, not just because my nostalgia or it's the old times or when Marvel's actually Marvel. They just like cool, like nice, cool statuesque collectibles. And Read by Nature nails it. The Invisible Woman bubble effect and her pose looks great. Daredevil, if you look, it's got the DD in back of him. Captain America, if you look at back of him, he's got the shield and Hulk a brick wall. I can't tell what's up with Hawkeye. And you know what? That's fine, but he's got his comic suit. Dude, I might like once I get the Daredevil one, I'll decide if I want to get the air ones and make the ring. But just the fact that it was like Daredevil merch that I never owned, didn't even know existed. And Jack, why you left Illinois? Well, I know why you left Illinois because Illinois' taxing sucks, and you came back because a lot of your stores left California. So now you're trying to balance it out by coming back to Illinois. But I wish you were in the Illinois in the early 2000s because I would have got you. I would have got you.
There's something about old school toys that are posable or displayable that I miss. Current day, you go to a good toy store and you see a lot of statues, you see a lot of high-end toys that you can pose. And when you are just looking for decorations, they have some random stuff that nobody really cares about. But this, you can see this as part of your decoration.
Oh yeah. Like I said, if the Daredevil one ends up looking cool enough, I may consider getting them all. If not, I'm just happy I got Daredevil because I make that's one of my favorite fictional characters of anything in the history of ever. I'm just so happy we got that.
It looks like the Hulk arms might be able to move a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I'd be curious to see if the others have any sort of similar quote unquote action to them.
From the Marvel figures or the other companies?
Well, I mean the other ones in this lineup, because look at the arms in the Hulk versus his body.
Oh yeah, you're right. I see. I never even noticed that until you pointed out. Deep man, yeah, it makes you wonder. I don't see. I didn't think that they were supposed to do anything. I just saw them as they had like a statuesque look, and I was fine with that. I just like that there was like the connective tissue between them all. I thought that was cool. And now I gotta look and see if this is a cover for a one and done issue because that looks like actual early 2000s Marvel art, even though it's a very random pairing of characters. I just like that. I see that you had some expected choices with some lesser known choices because at the time you'd say Daredevil and Hawkeye would be the more or less obvious choices, and maybe even to a lesser extent Sue Storm, but Captain America and Hulk are obviously easy marketable choices.
So get this. Marvel Adventures was a one-shot comic book sold exclusively at Jack in the Box as part of a kids' meal in 2001. The story features Hulk, Captain America, Invisible Woman, Daredevil, and Hawkeye. Avonlea was one of the artists.
Say Avonlea, you said?
Yeah. Yes.
Guys, I know I already said we used to be a proper country. This was a comic book at Jack in the Box!
Dude.
If you did shit like this,
the other day I saw that Burger King was doing Sonic the Hedgehog toys, but the only one that I did like is Shadow. The other ones were absolute shit.
Wasn't that a year ago?
Well, my country has some delay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got the delay because I say currently they're doing for SpongeBob out here. But go on.
They did Naruto recently too, and those were crap. But I felt really old because it was celebrating that Naruto was like 20 years and like more than 20 years and like. Dude, I used to come home from high school to watch Naruto or to play the Naruto PS2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I feel fucking old. God damn it. But yeah, Sonic is more current day, has some movies and everything, so I can get that. There's some nostalgia on Burger King that I don't get.
Oh, dude, Burger King used to have a badass watches. I think Tom Connors posted on his Twix account when the Lost World Jurassic Park was on in theaters. They were you could buy watches for $2. I thought that is so cool because kids can learn if they have something attached to what they like that requires learning. Attached dinosaurs, kids love dinosaurs, and attach that to watches, and they were $2 at the time, bargain, and say, hey, I'm learning how to tell time because I had a dinosaur watch. Dude. And
Burger
then I
King
looked
used to
at
have some fantastic merchandise.
oh
Like
man.
I still have, and I keep this by my desk, one of
Oh,
the
I'm
Lord
gonna
of the
get
Rings
you
glasses.
Oh, reminds me of the Batman Forever glasses at McDonald's. And that's another thing. For Christmas, McDonald's used to sell like Five O Goes West and other movies as VHS tapes for sale for like $5 at McDonald's.
Hell, McDonald's used to sell VHS tapes of like Ronald McDonald and the whole like McDonald
Yeah.
gang.
Yeah. I've not eaten fast food ages. No, that well, wait till you hear the fast food tier list stream Tuesday night if you catch it, TZ, since Toxic Tuesday is having a skip week. All I know is we're gonna have a blast with that one. That's freaking sure. All right. Get it up, Casta. What else?
Oh, no,
Oh, ooh.
that was just, I was
Okay.
like, oh, I use it
Okay.
to store pens and stuff on my desk.
No, I managed to get a lot of the glasses again from Batman Forever from McDonald's 1995 that were really killer. But man, if that Daredevil figure comes out looking cool enough, I may have to consider getting those figurines and the comic book. Seriously, man, fast food places went crazy with merch. Oh, I loved it. I remember Burger King also did Spider-Man 3. I think they even did Spider-Man 2 as well. Man, there's just used to be some really killers. Oh, they did Superman the animated series. I remember I had many of the Superman animated series. I was so excited because I remember I went to a Burger King at the Dells in the mid 90s because I saw there's a Superman ad for Superman the animated series. What's up, Davina Duckworth? Came in at a good moment. We're actually going to be going slightly longer tonight too. So
Dude,
that's what she said.
Nick,
We're hanging around here.
do you happen to remember the Godzilla merchandise push they did when the '98 movie came out?
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. You got
So-
photos you want to show of that?
Oh, I will have to find one. But the big,
Okay.
the big things I remember were where they would always have the little, little Taco Bell chihuahua, yo quiero Taco Bell, and him saying things like "here, lizard, lizard, lizard," and one of the things they sold in the stores was the big old Godzilla size like cup holder.
Dude.
There's some things that
now
came
that
from.
you mention it, we gotta get a photo. We gotta do it. We gotta
There's some
do
things
it.
from the Godzilla '98 movie that I loved.
Oh, I hate the movie,
Right?
but I remember liking the fast food
but
merch.
the
That's
toys were
ironic.
great. The
The
merchandising
toys
was
were
great.
good. The toys were
The
good.
TV
I like the
series was
toys.
great. I
Do you
love the
re-
TV series.
It was great because the way they market was genius. They would say like his foot is as big as this bus.
Yep. They used to have a lot of crazy phrases. Oh, dude, do you remember they used to have the cutouts of the eye for the windows of some places? So you will go and sit and eat your burger, and there was the eye of Godzilla watching you. It was, dude, we have lost fun. We can say that a lot of things have changed throughout the years. A lot of things have happened. But the
Fast
thing
food
that
merch
hits me the
is a
most,
major downfall. Fast food merch is a major downfall.
And if you want a good look at the side profile of this thing, like
I hate this movie, but that cup and that thing for it That holder was kick
But
ass. I
I
gotta
will
admit, it was
watch.
kick ass.
I will watch this movie any day compared to some shit that we get current day.
That's a lot of fish.
-1. And no, see, here's the thing. I actually like though, even the
Oh,
one
the
with
Godzilla
King
movies are
Kong,
great.
even the King Kong with the robot arm. I love it. Yeah, it's retarded, but it's retardedly fun.
Yeah,
So
exactly. No, but there's some things that, to be honest, I don't really want to watch on theater. The new Avatar movie, for example, I know Pauli liked it, but Pauli liked the previous one, and I hated the previous one. So I'm avoiding it. Maybe I will watch it on TV. But if you tell me there's a screening of Godzilla 98 and a screening of Avatar Burning P, I will go to Godzilla 98 any day.
At least you get some fun dialogue with Matthew Broderick being cheesy, and it's like, yeah, it's dumb, but at least it can be kind of fun, and I can let it go after 20 years of hating the movie. It's like, yeah, it's dumb, but okay, at least we get to see a lizard running around New York City.
Yeah. I miss when the terrible movies were fun. Actually, a lot of the cult classic movies are so trash that they are fun. For example, The Room is a garbage movie.
oh, but it's
It's a great
entertaining as
time.
fuck. It's so entertaining. Kel, Stephen M. Tron Aries by Monster Cons is a bad movie, but the popcorn but oh, see, I didn't know that, but I bet it did look cool. I bet it did. And I didn't know. I never watched the cartoon. I never watched it. I wouldn't know. I just saw as I was looking at you, I saw my oldest. She won this plushie at an arcade machine, a ramen noodle plushie. I was like,
nice.
dude, my oldest, she got about 1,300 tickets. My youngest got 1,600 tickets. She spun this one dice and she hit the jackpot and it automatically printed out 500 tickets. I've never seen that amount of tickets my entire life. Once, not even close. Maybe I've seen like 2, 3, 400. Like, and that's playing several games to get that much. Not with one spin and getting 500. Sing it, come out and come out and come out and come out. I was like, holy shit! You straight up hit the jackpot, child. Yeah, so I'm looking at. I see a ramen plush. I'm like, man, but these fast food toys, dude. Spider-Man the animated series by McDonald's had killer toys, and then there was a Marvel Heroes one they did as well that had the light up Human Torch. I had somewhere. I gotta look later. That was McDonald's as well. Between McDonald's, Burger King, and Jack in the Box, they all did kill stuff. I remember Wendy's actually did a really killer Felix the Cat thing in the mid 90s. That was actually my introduction to Felix the Cat. I thought, wow, who's this cat that looks like it's from a really old cartoon? And that was my introduction just because I got some toy on the character, but I ended up, getting cool stuff from Wendy's. I couldn't believe it, but that was it for me, man. That Wendy's introduced me to Felix the Cat. I'm actually gonna look it up really quick to see if I can get some stuff of it. That was my gateway. Felix the Cat toys. Oh yeah. Oh, I think I found some imagery.
Nick.
Yes.
Since we were talking about some popcorn buckets, I decided to look to see what else I could find. Did you know Anaconda has a popcorn bucket?
Of course it does.
Is that real?
Yes.
I love that. That snake's so silly. I love it.
People are gonna stick their
wow.
Dude, people stick their dicks in a lot of things that they
Weird
should not.
shit.
Ask me about my ex.
Oh, I'm looking at like, wait, that Predator had one.
Oh, dude, I never looked into what Predator Badlands have. Never looked into it. Dude,
and I'm like,
Steven, I can appreciate aspects of Superman 3 where Superman 4 is just That's absolutely awful. Like I would say, like if you had to rank the worst movies for me, I know there's gonna be.
Oh,
I would say Man of Murderer, followed by Superman Returns, followed by Superman for the Quest for Peace. Maybe I might I have to rewatch Returns to see if maybe I'm more fonder of it compared to the Quest for Peace. But those three are the worst of the worst for me. That's for sure. I like this popcorn bucket. I actually dug this one. I think Tom got this one where he lasered into that popcorn thing, probably pours the butter or something. I actually dug this one. I actually like this one a lot, but I didn't buy any of the popcorn buckets. There's a phone
see,
booth one. I was actually that was the one I wasn't really wild on, was the phone booth one.
I would rather be like the green truck that from Action Comics #1
Uh-huh.
or something like that, where like you've got Superman like holding back the truck. Like that would be kind of a fun bucket to do for Superman. This one I'm not so keen on because I just kind of don't like the way Superman is posed in it, shooting in. Like it's just like kind of a more aggressive pose. It makes me think of like the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
See, I get a fun vibe out of this one. I just see he's lasering it so the thing can pour some butter. And for me, my popcorn always has to have butter. That's the rule, not the exception. So maybe that's just obviously the interpretation. But I found the Wendy's Felix the Cat toys. So I didn't have many, but to me, it really stuck out. I had to the far right, the pink one, where he did the spinny thing. And then I had those little cap thingies in the pink bottle here, right there, right there. I had that thing, and I had these things, which was cool because I sucked at drawing, but I had fun tracing, and this helped me trace a lot of these things. So I got into old cartoons because of Wendy's. So thank you, Wendy's. I discovered Felix the Cat because of you. And marking this, and who the hell's Felix the Cat? How come this is a new cartoon, but it worked for me, man. Which, by the way, the kids were like, "Hey, what's that Raising Cane's like?" Well, your brother really likes it, and I always called it really overrated chicken fingers that just happens to have good sauce. Um, I will say their promotion they did this month for a Christmas Story was really killer. They did this 3 plushies of their dog mascot, and one was the dog in the pink bunny outfit that Ralphie wore. The other was a plushie of the dog in the Fragile box and with the lamp, and the dog is the lamp with the lamp cover on the head. And they had tons of like references to a Christmas Story inside Raising Cane's. I was actually impressed. I was like, wow, Raising Cane's is making fast food merch great again. I was impressed. The bread is outstanding. Their Texas bread's really good. Their chicken fingers, I think, are the most overrated chicken fingers on the planet, but the sauce for it is so damn good that you can forgive it. But it seems like a lot of people disagree and tend to love their chicken fingers. So I guess how I feel is not relevant. But
I
dude,
still have to try it.
it's 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 worth it for the sauce alone. And I'll tell you this too. I've been to about 4 or 5 different locations. They have all been consistent. So there is a consistency. I'll give them credit there. So it seems like they try to hire respectable workers to make sure it's the formula that they're known for. But I love how they went all in a Christmas Story. And I looked at some Instagram videos, and Peter Billingsley, aka Ralphie, he went in on the promotion too. I thought, hell yeah. And also their plushies. And I learned too that every time they do a new round of these dog plushies to promote their mascot, they always go to some cool charities. I'm like, okay, so it's a very respectable company. Hell yeah. And my oldest, she's like, can I get the plushie of the Fragile House? Yeah, she's seen the movie. They love it. My kids love this movie. So we're gonna watch the sequel soon. But they had the choice of 3, so I got them the Fragile one. So now they say to me, Fragile, that must be Italian. They understand the reference and they're all in on it, which I love that they're in on it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I
Oh
know,
my god,
right?
I scrolled down and I see it's just nothing but just constant ones cycling through. Like they did an Elf game back in 2009.
Yep.
They did
God,
There's so many.
thank you, Deeple. Thank you. It's funny because my brother, who loves Rizzy Canes, he's one of those like workout freaks of nature. Like he's like Scott Steiner. He's a genetic freak, and something about those chicken tenders just resonates with him. I don't know. I don't get it. And I hear like people like D-Day Cobra, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. He's in Florida. He raves like crazy about that. I'm like, what are you guys thinking? There's so many better chicken fingers out there. Once again, the sauce is outstanding. It's just to me, they're the most overrated chicken fingers on their own merits ever. To me, they're not. If I've had a bite of them without the sauce, I'm just like, really? Really? They're okay. But most people love it. But is it a respectable company though? Hell yeah. Is the bread good? Oh, the bread's good. I was gonna say, if you just get the bread there, ooh, that bread is good. Trust me, you mean Big Papa Pump? You damn right I do, man. The genetic free Scott Steiner. You know it, man. That's my guy. That's my boy. Oh, dude, yeah. Big Papa Pump, man.
I don't know if I want some good chicken fingers, I'd probably go to like Culver's. That's been my
Culver's.
go-to place.
Their spicy is to die for. Have you had their spicy?
No, I gotta get the spicy now.
So when I took my kids to go to SmackDown earlier this year, there's a Culver's right outside of our venue, and the kids like, hey, can we go to Culver's? I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. If the better they eat, the less food we need to get during SmackDown. I need to run concession stands. Let's go, without a doubt. And of course, it was packed in there. A lot of people who were there getting ready for SmackDown. And my youngest was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the spicy chicken sandwich." I'm like, "Can I have a bite of that? I want to see how actually spicy it is." And it's got some heat, dude. And it was good. It was good. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, if we didn't have a show we had to get seated for, I would have gone in line again just to have gotten that sandwich.
See, I think my favorite sandwich of theirs I got was I think it's like I think I sent pictures of this to you. It's like the Curdle Burger.
Yeah, that looked good. I never had it, but it looked good. It looked
And
really good.
what they do is they make a patty of like the cheese curds and they put that on top of the burger. So you get like you don't just get cheese, you're getting cheese curds, like a nice thick piece of cheese.
Yeah. Dude, when we
Okay,
were in
I
the
get
Dells
that
last
you.
week, we had delicious cheese curds. Oh. Go ahead, Pablo. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I get that you guys like the more let's say fancier joints, something that is more uh quality and everything. But here in Ecuador, there's a place here in my city where you can go. Is called Poly Burgers. They give you from a hole in the wall a burger that has the meat, has egg, has chorizo spliced into fried. They add the fries inside of the burger, and then you go and you have bowls full of different salads that you get inside the burger by yourself. Everything you want, as much as you want. So if you want to fill it with cheese sauce and a lot of Russian salad, you can do that. It's your prerogative. Is absolutely incredible. You go out to there. You don't need to eat for the rest of the day. It's cheap as fuck, and well, is a restaurant for a university. So it's just this hole in the wall. All you need. It's amazing.
Oh, see, that
No
sounds.
quality, no
Those
brand,
are
nothing.
those are the best places to go. Like
Oh,
yeah, the chain stuff is fun. At least
Oh,
at
yeah.
least you generally know with those you get a consistency. But there's nothing quite like finding those like little off the beaten path places where it is the same family who's been running this place for like 20, 30 years. There's probably a kid in the back who's doing homework between washing dishes.
Oh, I could tell you about some of those places, and I'm going to tell you about some of those. And I'm going to acknowledge Toback's comment really quickly. So, do any of you remember Rax? It was like Arby's. I guess there's one left in the Midwest. Haven't heard of it, but now that you mentioned, I'm going to look it up later. So maybe my kids and I will drive to it. I'm not. We'll travel for food. We have, and we will, and we'll do it again. Um, So I went to a trade school in a town called Melrose Park in 2007. I see your screen, Pablo. I'll get it
Mhm.
up soon. And this trade school, you could say I was arguably the minority in there. It was a black school. And there was a lot of violence and a lot of crime in this area. I was the token. I was one of the tokens, but I got along with the guys well. Even some of the guys said I ate more fried chicken they did. I thought that was a badge of honor. I was like, hell yeah, I love fried chicken. I really did. That wasn't me just trying to like kiss ass. It's just I love fried chicken. I think it's amazing. It's wonderful. It's like one of those things every man should have. To me, it's like, yeah, if you don't have fried chicken, are you really a man? Type of thing. But I remember cars getting keyed. I remember the girls having cat fights at the nurses area. I remember hearing about all sorts of wild shit. And why you're thinking, where is this all going? And with food, it all connects. I've come to this conclusion. The more Chiraqi Chicago got, the more Chirac it got, the better the food was. You know why? Because no matter how psychopathic you are, you still gotta eat. And crazy people
Yeah.
don't want to make food. They need someone to do it, so they got to keep the people alive to make the food. And there's
Look,
this
you have to be
really
willing to
great.
do some crazy shit to get a good meal.
If you can
Yes.
handle the heat, if you can handle actually going to a really crazy place, there's some joints where there's a lot of tweakers, a lot of drug addicts that will go seeking a meal 4 a.m. So
Yeah.
you have restaurants that are open at that time, and
Mhm.
some of those restaurants are crazy good. Yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
dangerous as fuck going to the bad places
Oh,
of the
the
city,
more
but
ghetto
it's
the area
worth
is, the
it.
better. And so where I'm leaning to, there's this delicious hot dog joint called Gene and Jude's. You look it up, Gene, the and symbol, and Judes. Okay, it's a hot dog joint. Really outstanding hot dogs. Some of the best I've ever had, still to this day. I went there at least once a week, sometimes with classmates. It was delightful. The price was good. And they were so Chicago traditional that they didn't even sell ketchup as an option. You only got mustard or and everything. There was a McDonald's across the street that apparently, from what the worker said, Gene and Jude's, that you had to either people would go run inside McDonald's and steal ketchup packets. Then McDonald's started cracking down on that, started charging for ketchup instead because
Dude.
people would come over from Gene and Jude's to put ketchup on their hot dogs. Gene and Jude's didn't offer ketchup as an option. Their menu only had like 5 items, and this was hot dogs, tamales, fries, and a soft drink. And one of the stereotypes around here is we didn't call it grape Kool-Aid grape Kool-Aid. We called it purple drink. They have it listed word for word, purple drink. They don't say Kool-Aid, purple Kool-Aid. It's literally listed as purple drink, DRANK. I loved that so much. It made me feel so hood. Every time I went to Gene and Jude's and got my purple drink with my 3 hot dogs, I felt hood every time. I was like,
Dude,
I felt like I was doing a service to the hood community, right? Knowing that I walked in, steamrolling with my 3 hot dogs and my fries. I got my purple drink in one hand. It was a delight having purple drink with the homies. It was delight.
I
I
know.
usually order plain mustard hot dog. In case you were wondering, I was a plain mustard guy. I'm not too busy on the Chicago dog, lettuce, tomato, pickle. I like a plain mustard. I'm simple. But go ahead, Pablo.
I know you guys are not into arepas that much. Once you conquer Venezuela, maybe you will import some arepas to there. Jokes aside, one friend of mine is really worried because he's an Ecuadorian living in Venezuela, and he's like, if the Americans attack, we won't have energy or water or anything in this place for months because
Uh-huh.
there's only one way to get everything there. So yeah, he's kind of worried. I'm trying to push him to come back to Ecuador. The only issue is that he can't because I have his passport. Because he renewed his passport,
Oh.
and I was supposed to send him the passport to Venezuela, And right now, you cannot send shit to Venezuela. So he cannot leave the country because I have his documents. Well, guy,
Uh-huh.
you are fucked. Anyway, dude, there's a
Uh,
place here that is
okay.
open up to 3 a.m. of
Ooh.
arepas.
Okay, I
That
got your
is,
screen.
oh,
We're gonna
this is the
acknowledge
Polly
it.
Burger. Yep.
Yeah. Really quickly. To be fair, I don't have churches or that one chicken sandwich war from COVID. Oh, I remember that Dave Portnoy said Chick-fil-A was the best. And I will say I agree with Dave Portnoy. Popeyes is great, KFC is pretty good, but Chick-fil-A trumps them all. And I never tried churches because there's no one near out here. I hear that they're not great, but I still want to make up my mind for myself. But Pablo's got something he wants to share, so we're gonna
Oh,
get it
yeah.
up.
Look at the price of this. By the way, we use US dollars. Ecuador is really affected by bad governments on the US because we use the US dollar.
Uh-huh.
So check the price for this combo. 3 burgers, one French fry, and 1 liter of Coke. $9. You don't get that ghetto without enjoying some really crazy flavors. And by the way, this is their signature burger. Yeah, is 370, 3 layers of meat,
Mhm.
egg, chorizo, cheese, and all the shit that you can add it. They give you the burger in a bag. Trust me, you will need the bag because you will fill it with a lot of crazy shit. They're,
No. Yeah.
dude, they have a hot sauce that is not that hot, so you can use it as a salad. Add it to the burger
Mhm.
as a salad. You should double the ratio because it's goddamn awesome. Once you get to the spicy part, once you start to get the chili bits and everything,
Uh-huh.
oh god damn it. Dude, I used to go here when I was a kid. If you
Uh-huh.
tell me that I can go right now, I will go right now. God damn it. Is the amount of cholesterol here, man.
Worth it. Worth it. Remember when we were talking about with Mark before we went live? He's like, they said Dr. Tell I should eat like this, but he said, but it's so damn good. I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. It's worth fighting for. It's so worth fighting for.
There's
Mark
some
was saying that
places.
as a man in his 50s.
There's a word in Spanish that it means an STD. The word is
Uh-huh.
chancro. Somehow, there's a burger joint that popularized the papas chancrosas. It's basically STD fries. It sounds really, really bad.
Brad.
It sounds horrible. But the best place to go to eat if you are high or hungover is Las Papas Chancrosas. Is god tier meal.
Uh-huh.
You step in a line, you pay your burger or your fries or whatever. You go to another line, you wait until they give you your meal. You go to another place where they have bowls full of the tomato sauce, mayonnaise,
Oh.
right? You add
Oh.
to the whatever you got with a little, and then you go to sit in the street.
Uh-huh.
Is
Uh-huh.
worth every penny of the 175 for the fries.
Uh-huh.
That comes with a fried sausage and an egg. 175. You cannot get cheaper, but you cannot get
Oh.
better.
Oh. No, how do you eat that? Vince, you start at the top and you work your way to the bottom. Is the question is how do you not eat something like this? That's the
Yeah.
real challenging question. And Toback has some great comments here. Says we have a place called the Cookie Plug. They have purple drink written on the cups. Their cookies are all wrapped into each one is a cup scoop of cookie. Oh god, sounds amazing. Sounds so fucking amazing. And then Church's Hood. No, funny Toback, you're not the first one to say that. I've heard guys like Aaron Sparrow in our sphere say that. I think it was Drunk 3PO or Ryan Kindle say the same thing as well. So I still want to make up my mind though for myself. If it's awful, it's awful. I'll never go back to it again. I had Hardee's for my first time last week. We're on our way back from the Dells. We stopped at a Hardee's It was pretty good. No, I do like Jack and Checkers more, but did I enjoy Hardee's? Yeah, I did. Would I go back? I would go back so I could try their breakfast because I had a burger from them. It was like a grilled cheese, bacon cheeseburger, and it was pretty good. But I want to try their breakfast because their breakfast looked even better.
There's a place. You have to go out of the city. It's actually it will be a truck stop in the middle of the highway between my city and another city that is called
Uh-huh.
Miravalle. There uh, is a breakfast buffet.
Uh-huh.
You pay like $10, so it's not cheap. You can get stew meat. You can get the normal pork chops and everything. But there's a thing called uh, God damn it, I forgot the name. Well, anyway, it's basically a green plantain mashed,
Uh-huh.
added cheese, and then made a puree.
Uh-huh.
That with an egg, with a lot of stew meat, and with a lot of fritada that is fried pig.
Mm-hmm.
You pay $10. You are eating like $20 in any other place. You will live with a belly that is, well, it's a truck stop. What did you expect? Right? Flavor is amazing, man. Flavor is god tier.
Oh,
Last
it sounds. Go ahead,
la-
Caster. Go ahead.
oh, last week I got a chance to make a little stop myself. I finally got a chance to stop to a Bucky's.
Oh yeah, I love Bucky's. I can't wait to
Oh,
go to one again next.
I
It's worth it, right? It's worth it.
oh, it's worth it. Like 50 gas pumps. We were on pump like 48.
I was on pump. I remember. I was at pump 139 when I went my last one. Yeah, pump 139. Yeah.
You guys be pumping.
And I got a
Hey,
chance. And
in America, bigger's better. Go ahead, Cass.
I was told to go get the brisket sandwich while I was there.
It's good.
Oh, it's good, but as I was going to pick it up, I was then shocked to discover that they also they have not just the brisket.
Oh no! Do we lose Caster? No!
We lost Caster in the best part.
No! The
Wait, he
best
froze in a
part!
great frame.
All right. Yeah, you're in a great frame. We lost you as you're talking about the brisket.
Oh, I see there, but I went to go pick up the brisket sandwich and realized that not only did they have the brisket sandwich, they had a double XL brisket sandwich. I'm like, like twice the meat.
Oh,
Dude, it was so
Twice
good.
the meat is always good.
I want to live in it. I want to live in it. Oh, that looks delightful. You got a poster in your hand.
I do.
What's the poster
I
for?
forgot to mention this. So one of the shows I do during the week is Talk Hard, where I talk movies with friends. And my dear friend Squeak and Mouse, well, they all sent me something movie related.
Ooh.
Like Loki sent me some terrible shark movies. Pop sent me a bunch of like kung fu movies. Squeaka sent me some movie posters, and unfortunately, I can't get this open.
Nice.
Of course.
But she sent me the full-sized movie posters for Who Framed Roger Rabbit and RoboCop.
Nice. But God damn it, my brain is not working. RoboCop reference. I will buy that for $1.
Buy that for $1.
Yeah. Dudes, it has been a rough couple of weeks, let me tell you, but the weather issues are solved, at least for the moment. So there's a couple of places on my house that won't get any water. Because plumbing is really, really pricey, and I don't have the money for that. So screw you. You are not using that bathroom. You can keep not using that bathroom.
Eat your heart, boys. I got a freezer full of deer. I need to try deer. I would love to try. I finally tried duck for my first time last year, and that was delightful. Maybe I'll finally try some deer sometime between now and my death. You know what? I will eat my heart out because it's worth eating my heart out. Yeah, I finally got my. I've had my Dirty Deeds poster from Ripazine #3 for 9 months. I finally bought a frame for it a few days ago and put it in the frame. I'm gonna be having a new chair in a few days. Actually, in like 2 weeks, I'm gonna have a new chair. When I get the chair, you'll see the Dirty Deeds poster. I'm gonna have a change of location soon. I won't say where, but when you see it, you're gonna see my new chair and you're gonna see the Dirty Deeds poster in back of me. And the poster turned out amazing. It's so killer. It's so freaking killer from Carol Brown at Rippaverse. It's so good. Venison bacon burger is damn good. All right, we're gonna look at
When
Caster's posters, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here because he does have a show in a half hour. And well, I've got a minion to hang out with as well. So Caster, get your sheets out and let's freaking blow a load to what's in your hands.
really big. Oh, that's the RoboCop one.
As he's getting it up, I would send you some tenderloin, Nick, but I'm not sure if it's a crime. Yeah, I don't know what if it is a crime for you to send you your meat my way. I don't know how that works. So let's just play it safe and keep your meat where it's I'm that Vince McMahon. I'm that Vince McMahon where he saw, I think it was Stacy Keebler, and he's just like rolling off this table. I'm Vince McMahon right now. Oh, do not come. Do not come.
This is the
Dude.
full. This is the full size. Like this is one that would have been put inside of a theater.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come. Oh.
I had an insider in a theater once.
All right, I just in begging you, Caster, because Brad told me to zoom out, and he said just don't send it without Nick's consent. Blowing loads, getting up, moaning, gay. Dude, wow, that poster's killer.
Dude, I used to have a guy in a theater that will sell me the posters for the movies instead of giving them back to the. I think there's an agency that takes them away so people don't sell them. Well, this guy was selling them. It was cheap. So I got for The Force Awakens, for Rogue One, and for The Last Jedi, the posters from the marquee. I sold them, and I don't give a damn anymore. But I made like $80 extra on the process, so I don't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so movie posters.
You caught me play up my tubes here.
Oh, I'm glad I caught you with your tube in your hand.
The thing is, she hasn't seen either one of these movies. She got me these posters, so this has to be corrected.
Yeah,
you gotta correct that. You do. You really gotta correct that.
Oh,
well, gents, we're gonna get going, and I'm happy to see that there's still an audience here. 2.5 hours, probably the longest show we've done in a while. Which I had a blast doing, but we do gotta wrap it up. I've got a minion to hang out with, and she's expecting me to be around so we can have delicious munchies. Guys, it's been a very fun show. 2025 was fun, and we're gonna make 2026 great. We'll be here next week, the usual time, doing our usual stuff, classic ASM and F4. The week after, Saturday, January 10th, we'll be talking Norfolka Glorious Death #1, as well as JT Kirk, Mr. Braxcast on as well to join to talk about Norfolka. I can't wait. So we haven't done one of those episodes in a while. Focus on the Rippaverse as a centric episode. So that'll be awesome. Toxic Tuesday, we'll have a skip week so I can do a fast food tier list stream. And yes, Subhuman, I'll do my damnedest to make it better than what G&G did, much as I love those guys. Toxic Tuesday will return on January 6th and talk the Ice Pirates with Dave C. as a guest.
Nice.
And to you guys on YouTube and Rumble, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for giving me your time, your enthusiasm, your feedback, to whether it's talk about the best of 2025, classic ASM, classic Fantastic Four. It's all been fun. On Bonded by Metal, I will also have the best albums of 2025. Keep your eyes and ears out. That should be out on New Year's Eve. Should be out on New Year's Eve. I got the list all set up. I just got to write a few more details and record it, which I'm hoping to do Monday. So that's a lot coming out my way. All things coming up. Millhouse. I'm going to let these gentlemen plug their plugs really quickly so we can get out. I know Caster's got to really go, so we'll just do Caster first because his puppet has a show in a few minutes. So, Caster, thanks for sticking around longer. Plug your plug.
Right. So Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, over my channel, we do the Mech Pit chat where we talk about big robots. So we have all sorts of stuff to talk about coming up with all the craziness going on with the Super Sentai Power Ranger stuff. Maybe I'll force the boys over there to go talk about some RoboCop one of these nights, and we'll have some fun over there. So come on by. I'll do some random streams where I've been building and painting minis. I got stuff I've been sitting on the desk I'm working on.
Oh yeah.
And of course, as you might have seen, all these little guys I have just kind of working on the background while we were chatting. And I'm all over the place I'm all over the place talking movies and comics here, talking, with the puppets over on Snow Dubs. So come on by, check us out all over there. I am on Kick at a new account of kick.com/commoncaster because for whatever reason I can't access the old account anymore. So jump on over there if you want to check out Kick as a Twitch alternative. So with that, gentlemen, thank you for the time. Happy Saturday. Go enjoy yourselves, and I will catch you next week.
Agreed.
Later.
And hey, thanks for being here, Caster. Take care, dude. Appreciate you. Guys, I hope you all had a great Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you next year. Pablo, I'll let you plug your plug, sir. I know you don't have much, but Vince, thanks for plugging our plugs in the chat. What do you got, Pablo?
Hey, I ain't got shit. No, I'm currently dealing with all the things happening in life. So I'm actually not even using Twitter or anything that much. But if you see me streaming, please hang out, I guess. Let's see whatever happens. It has been a crazy year. I just enjoyed the hell out of a huge part of the year, even with everything happening. And a lot of that was hanging out with you guys. So, yeah. It's a great time, man.
All right. Hey, Pablo, it's been good. It's been fun. Been a delight. 2025 was killer. Let's make 2026 huger than ever. The fact that we had a chat that stuck around with us the bulk of the show is insane. Chat, we see that and we appreciate that. You have plenty of places you can be on Saturday night, but you're here with us, and the fact that most of you stuck around is incredible. So thank you guys. Even for those who are here for a little bit, we thank you as well. You guys all have a happy new year. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for supporting Clobby's Comic Shop. Issue number 73. We'll see you all next year. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Goodbye. Good fight. And good.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible. But I can smell